Yeah. Lola. Yeah. F your feelings. The Star Sport podcast out, we the realest. Hot takes, fact based. If we said it, then sign and seal it. Politically correct takes ain't what we give it. We do film study, we do live streams, we tough critics. We go against the grain. We in a different lane. If you ask me who to go, I'ma say it's James. We do fan view reviews, headline news while giving game. We do play-by-plays on our channel if you can't catch the game. All of the good debates that could be had, we the start of it. Don't challenge the person here, challenge the arguments. We love good debates, pick a topic that we can spar you with. FYF gang is the hashtag, this is what it meant. F your feelings.
Head to head, you can't compete with me. It's no debate, you too fake, and it's too real with me. What's the topic? I'll block it, I keep that shield with me. Ammo loaded, I'm cocking, I got that steel with me. What you talking is nonsense, blow off your conscience. I'm a living sickness, Magic Johnson. By that action, no Bronson, I'm a King LeBron. And the whole league is fuck your feelings, who you thought it would be. Catch me in the streets, internet thugs just typing on keys. And the fans from Ticket TV, sign that permission slip please. That Max Ether gon' heat you, make you fall to your knees. No way out, this the firm, come near this stove, you gon' burn. Been waiting patient, that's my turn. What Kevin say, today you gon' learn. True to the game, what's happening. You got the sauce, keep doing your thing. TKO, I'm from round in the ring. I'm a god to you millions, but stay in your lane. Work it out, I cannot promise no favors. Depend on this live sports talk, sit down at the table. This the family, understand me, don't get it twisted. You won't miss it, we on a mission. Fuck your feelings, antisocial, what's the business? Ay? We talk it, we live it. Hold on, let's get it, hold on, let's get it. Vamos slicing the zebra, this for my people, gon' bring out the ether. Hey, fuck your feelings, we don't care. FYF. Too official like a ref. They can't keep up with me. Watch how Euro step, 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 step. Then that boy got left. Shook him out his sneakers. Go against me, oh you tweaking. See you reaching, time to teach him. Next time you gon' learn your lesson. Ain't no checking, game on. Feel like LeBron on the throne. No debating, ain't no faking. I'ma take him, ankles breaking. Whoa, man, somebody come and save him. I be ballin', big dog shot calling. All you heard was a swish, ayy. Call me Mr. Spalding. In a league of my own, fast break, already gone. 2-3 zone, can't hold me, forever a legend. RP Kobe. Straight way, Georgia. Elder Roof is here, OG. They don't know what time it is. Let me check my rollie. I'm a 3-point shooter. Know the game. Let me school ya. A champion.
Yeah, we done came from the bottom, mad that we up, but I don't hear him talking. Started with knowledge inside of my noggin. We took a dream and then we started blogging. Put my city on the map now. I'ma say how it is and I don't back down. On the road to 100K, we finna act out. We gon' show them that we not just in the background. We the main event, we the main show. We the one that people always gon' pay for. FYF, we the best, no debate though. Number one sports channel, every angle. I'ma show them all how we ride. Best sports talk show, we not like them guys. We playing it safe, all they fed in the lines. We pushing the narrative all the time. Like who to go in the game's not MJ. Kobe Bryant top 10, not what we say. I keep Elijah one is very overrated. Keep it real if it ain't fact, we don't say it. Now it's stable, we won't be ignored. We number one, especially when coming to sports. FYF bringing the heat here, of course. Where everything backed up with actual source. Everything backed up with actual source.
Feelings you talking about list 3 boys, you Scooby-Doo talking in mysteries. You is a puppet, the ticket that's misery. Said that you bite it, babe, boy, know your history. Shout out A-Weezy, you reppin' the city. You giving the smoke and it come with a bang. These little sheep only know how to follow. When they see a wolf, they don't know how to dang. It's a debate, don't you come with your feelings. Just fact, cause you know that there's sharks in the tank. But I'm off your neck cause you got all these L's. And I don't need to talk cause those losses have weight. It's based over feelings, you talking about list 3 boys, you Scooby-Doo talking in mysteries. You is a puppet, the ticket that's misery. Said that you bite it, babe, boy, know your history. It's facts over feelings, you talking about list 3 boys, you Scooby-Doo talking in mysteries. You is a puppet, the ticket that's misery. Said that you bite it, babe, boy, know your history.
you gangsters think you tough, knowing you ain't about that life. Okay, now we call your bluff, it's time that you pay the price. Oh, you scared, huh? Police about to read them rights. I don't wanna go to jail, man, might not get no bail, man. Gangsters think you tough until them rollers pull them cuffs. Okay, now we call your bluff, you just be talking all that stuff. Oh, you a big dog, huh? Cut it out, boy, not even close. I don't wanna go to jail, man, I'm broke, can't get no bail, man.
Fuck all the clowns, yeah, the ones that do it for the bite. All we going now, you feel inside. When it get real, all them sex so damn you ready now. If it's too high, we get it lit, cause we speaking now. Fuck all the clowns, yeah, the ones that do it for the bite. All we going now.
I know they ain't ready at all, I stay ready, time to ball. No referee, I got shots to call. Believe I'm the best, so I'm better than y'all. Fuck your feelings, you know that's law. Running it up, now we running it back. It's that full court pressure, don't cut no slack. Jam to the max, new bank count still for the racks. For that competition, they done went missing. The champions here, look how the ring glisten. It's honorable mention, don't ever forget it. It's FYF, don't care about the ticket, you know we with it, yeah. We gon' do whatever it takes, fuck all the hate. FYF still going down, it's one of the greats.
All you feel inside, when it get real, all them sex so damn you ready now. If it's too high, we get it lit, cause we speaking now. Fuck all the clowns, yeah, the ones that do it for the bite.
All I hear is yap, 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 yap. Ain't talking about nothing, right? Watch this. We gon' bring that pressure.
Just a little FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. It's a FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo, fuck your feelings, we all know who the real is. I been getting to it, ain't wasting no time. Walking straight in, we ain't waiting in line. Fuck your feelings, you don't care about mine. You a YouTube gangster, don't be yelling out slime. Or you talking LB, talking Ticket TV. Ain't nobody watching them, all the viewers be sleep. 5 years in, all your subs is your friends. Ticket TV, watch your cars again. Just a little FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. It's a FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo, fuck your feelings, we all know who the real is. All know, shot on close, working 24, trying to make the channel grow. Look at them, pointing fingers, hating on the low. You can't compete with our podcast show. Couldn't make it in the league, so we got on TV. Crying by LeBron like a little baby. You must be crazy, trying to ever play me. Or you super tough until it's time to say cheese. Just a little FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. It's a FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo, fuck your feelings, we all know who the real is.
FYF Sports, man. It's Lamont, man. We back, man. Appreciate you guys being here. Boy. But these playoffs been something else. Unlikely in the West. Definitely not what I predicted. Dallas Mavericks, man. Who would have thought that type of backcourt coming into the season, regarded as one of the worst defensive backcourts in the NBA. And they find a way to get it done when it matters most against bona fide competition too. When you look at what the Mavericks are doing. Now they still got to get the job done. They got one more game to go, but I think we can all concede that they're probably not going to lose 4 in a row. Then we got tonight's game. We got the Boston Celtics. Now, the Boston Celtics are an interesting case because I just been kind of sitting back, really trying to evaluate, okay, what are people going to say? Is this team going to get props for being dominant in the regular season and then taking care of business in the playoffs? That's what I thought I would hear. You know, all throughout the year, I really questioned why there wasn't more conversation about Jason Tatum being
the league MVP. He was the best player on the best team. And they were the best team by a long shot in the NBA. It wasn't even really close. And they were the best team even amidst injuries to guys like Kristaps Porzingis. And the only thing that I've seen this year is that this Boston Celtic team, they have done nothing other than take care of business and do what they're supposed to do. This is not a team that is, they have not utilized any of that load management stuff. They haven't made any excuses. They haven't let knick-knack injuries hold them back from important games. They've literally done everything that they're supposed to do, and they've done it the right way. Yet they've only been slighted and looked over. And then now, as they enter the NBA Finals, you know, I'm looking at videos, Ticket TV, Man Down Sports, everywhere you look on the internet. The only thing that people are saying about the Boston Celtics is that they had the easiest path to the NBA Finals. That's the only thing I'm hearing. Now, the last time I checked, and let's just think about it, y'all. The last time I checked, you push to get the number 1 seed so that you are able to acquire home court advantage throughout the entire playoffs, but it also makes your road to the NBA Finals much easier. This is what you grind out 60 plus wins for in the regular season. So that when you go into the playoffs, you don't have to play a number 2 seed in the second round. I thought that's what the regular season was for. I thought this is why you push to get number 1 seeds so that your path is easier. But yet the only thing that I'm seeing now is that people are using it to criticize the Boston Celtics and their road to this NBA Finals. Sad, ain't it? Ain't it? They do what they're supposed to do. They get rewarded how a number 1 seed is supposed to get rewarded. They take care of business and beat every team in front of them like number 1 seeds are supposed to do. And then the only thing that happens when they accomplish all of those things, including being an elite defensive team, right? A extremely unselfish team. Doesn't matter who drops 30 on any given night. They're going to the hot hand. One of the best offenses in the league, ran by Joe Mazzulla. You got to give them credit on that end of the floor. But yet this Boston Celtic team is just getting slighted. Now, are y'all starting to see what I'm talking about when I say that basketball talk on some of these platforms has been diminished? The Boston Celtics have done all year what they were supposed to do. The road to the NBA Finals is not supposed to be as difficult as it is for 8 seed, a 7 seed, a 6 seed, a 4 seed, or a 5 seed. It's not supposed to be that difficult. They did what they're supposed to do. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. All right, y'all. Let's see, my mods ain't activated yet, so I gotta do it. Come on, y'all. Some of my mods gotta start activating, man. People start spamming in the chat, man. You're supposed to. So Reed Jenkins in the chat. The Boston Celtics put themselves in a position where their road to the NBA Finals could potentially be a cakewalk. That's the perk of being the number 1 seed. Your road is easier. It's not something that we have ran and tried to utilize to try to denigrate a team for doing what they're supposed to do. I told you, we live in a day and age where all people do is they search for negatives, right? In this Dallas series, a series where Luka Doncic playing unbelievable basketball on both ends of the floor. Kyrie Irving playing unbelievable basketball on both ends of the floor. PJ Washington has stepped his game up to a degree that none of us have predicted. Derek Lively is playing unbelievable for a rookie. But yet, when people talk about this Minnesota Timberwolves series, the only thing people can seem to grasp their head around is the fact that the only thing that they can try to conceptualize is that they're trying to say that Minnesota is choking. No, Minnesota's not choking. Dallas is just playing some elite level basketball. Right? Minnesota's throwing their best punches. Dallas is throwing bigger haymakers. Right? Luka Doncic gets matched up with Rudy Gobert on the perimeter one-on-one and makes a hell of a step back three. The same step back three that he nails over even some of the best defenders in the league. As far as perimeter defense, he knocks down a tough shot. People, instead of giving Luka credit for knocking down a tough shot, people choose to say that Rudy Gobert is a fraud. Let's just forget that Rudy Gobert was able to nullify to a certain degree the interior presence of the Denver Nuggets. That doesn't matter. If he gets stuck on the perimeter on a switch, he's supposed to also clamp up Luka. Low level basketball talk. Salute to the chat, man. I see you in there, Said. Reed Brandon is in the chat. Kilpy says the East is just obviously weaker than the West. But you can say that about every single year. That doesn't matter. Who cares if the East is slightly stronger than the West or the West is slightly stronger than the East? It doesn't mean anything. You still got to take care of business. Every year, the East is stronger than the West or the West is stronger than the East. It's been extremely rare. I want y'all to think back. When was the last time we were able to say, oh, the East and the West are both perfectly balanced? One conference, especially now in today's day and age with player mobility and player movement and how teams can improve their roster on a year in and year out basis, we can always say that. That's low-hanging basketball talk when we even mention that. It has no bearing. You can only beat the teams that are in front of you. The Boston Celtics cannot go to the league and request to be in the Western Conference because fans in the chat on FYF Sports are saying that the East is weak. It's wild, man. Salute to True the King in the chat. This is basking Rudy Gobert's lazy analysis. You're right. Catatone 211. He is, bro. He's a liability. You're talking about the Nuggets, but he can't do it to Dallas. He's a fraud. Oh, first of all, Rudy Gobert is a center. Catatone 211. He's a rim protector. See, I want to see this and the funniest thing about it. It be these 90s Jordan fans running around saying Rudy Gobert's a fraud when none of those centers of the 90s could guard on the perimeter, especially not as well as Rudy Gobert can. Not Ewing couldn't, Mutombo couldn't, Olajuwon couldn't. I mean, outside of 10 feet from the rim, players in the 90s were able to score on Hakeem Olajuwon at like a 65% clip as soon as he got 10 feet outside the rim. But nobody talks about that. Rudy Gobert is elite at what he does. Rim protection. That's what he's elite at. Just because you're the defensive player of the year, just like when Gary Payton won the defensive player of the year, he didn't have to go down. If he got matched up on Karl Malone in the post, nobody was going to knock him because he got scored on. It's just his job is not to go guard power forwards and centers. Main event says Rudy can't protect a coat of paint. See, this is just you guys really not giving the Dallas Mavericks any credit. The Dallas Mavericks understand what Rudy Gobert does well. What are they consistently doing? They're putting him in pick and roll, pulling him away from the rim. They're forcing him away from the rim. What are they doing? They're putting him in situations where he has to either go into drop coverage, and because the guys chasing over those screens aren't fighting hard enough, what's happening? Rudy Gobert has to make a choice. Do I step up and try to guard Kyrie, free throw line extended, or do I go into drop coverage to protect the lob? He has to compute all of this. I know some of you guys in the chat couldn't guard 2 6th graders in a 2-on-1. Now imagine having to guard Derek Lively and Kyrie Irving coming off a pick and you have to step up and you have to try to defend that because the guard has to fight over. But see, the level of criticism that people give to Rudy Gobert is just because they don't understand how defense works. That's why we going to the film today. We doing elite film study today. We going straight to the film today. We're going to show you guys some of the complicated situations that Rudy Gobert is put in. We're going to show you guys how players like Anthony Edwards, who are supposed to be really helping him, tagging that role guy, aren't really helping him. That's what we're going to get to today. We going to the film. Salute to T Killer in the chat. T Killer says Jason Kidd been doing a hell of a job all playoffs. And that's what I'm saying. You got to give the Dallas Mavericks credit, because the one thing that I never forecasted from this Dallas Maverick team was that Luka, Doncic, and Kyrie Irving would play defense like this. Now, how Jason Kidd was able to motivate these guys to defend at a high level was by what they did at the trade deadline. They went and got P.J. Washington and Daniel Gafford. They shored up the back line of their defense and said, look, Luka, Kyrie, we know that you're not the greatest defenders laterally, but these are the principles that we want you guys to do every single time. And if you just do these principles, we got your back. Not allowing guards to continuously get to the middle of the floor. Force teams away from the middle. And we got your help on the baseline. We're going to do the rotations. That's a well-connected team. They play like it. They move the ball like it. The offense looks like it. It looks like a joy to be on that team right now. You just got to give Jason Kidd credit for getting these guys to jail at the right time. You know, I wish they had like an award for coaches for a hell of a run. You know, they have awards, NBA Finals MVP. I think they should, because the job that Jason Kidd is doing is a masterclass defensively with what he's doing with the pieces that he has, right? He knows when to go big, but he also knows when to go small, right? He says Derrick Jones Jr. has been great. Yes, Derrick Jones Jr. has been, man, amazing. But, you know, one of the biggest things with Derrick Jones Jr. rebranding to me is the fact that they've given him even more confidence, because they give him the ball with confidence, right? When he's opening those corner threes, they want him to shoot that with confidence. And so they are empowering their players, right? And, they're doing a hell of a job. So you got to give credit for Luka Doncic, who was struggling in the playoffs. Now he's barbecuing. Kyrie been barbecuing this entire playoffs. And, man, this matchup with the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks, man, this is going to be epic right here, because, boy, you know the Boston fans are going to be all over Kyrie. And I want you guys to envision this right here. A vision of Dallas Mavericks and Kyrie Irving potentially winning an NBA championship at the TD Jakes Center. The same place where Kyrie stomped on the logo and disrespected the logo. See, when I said in my last stream, y'all, basketball karma has a way of catching up. Basketball karma has a way of catching up, right? The way the media has slandered Kyrie Irving, the way they've killed him, and the way the Boston fan base killed that man, boy, it can get ugly. It can get ugly. Don't let him win a national championship. Don't let him win an NBA championship in the Boston Garden. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Boy, that's going to be a hell of a picture. And you know some photographer's going to be taking that picture, man. If he's holding a trophy, standing on the Boston on the Boston Garden logo in the midcourt. Well, Boston, y'all better start repenting right now if y'all don't want to see nothing crazy happen. Because right now the Celtics are struggling with defending Nembhard of the Pacers. What y'all gonna do with Kyrie and Luka if you can't defend Nembhard, no Tyrese Halliburton? I mean, the Pacers are making these games competitive. Nah, it's not the TD Jakes Arena, man. I'm just, you know what it's just the TD Center, TD Garden. Y'all know what I'm talking about, though. I'm just trolling. But the storylines rebranding is wild. Salute to Wally in the chat, man. We're going to get to this film study. We're going to go through this Pacer game because the one thing I want to highlight is I want to highlight some of, because I talked a lot when I was talking about the Lakers series, you guys. I talked a lot about closing games and the mistakes that you make late game that you know, for example, when I was talking time and score, obviously when I had the locker room and Tyson in here, I was talking a lot about time and score. The Pacers have, like, game one. I think game two might have been the only game that really kind of got out of hand. But in games 1, 3, and 4, the Pacers really had opportunities in the fourth quarter to win the game. Experienced teams don't play the fourth quarter like they play the first, second, and third. It's a different game. And remember some of the things that I talked about that lost the Lakers series. I talked about clock mismanagement, not understanding time and score. When I talked about the Denver series loss, the pace of play when you have the lead, don't get sped up. We're going to highlight some of these mistakes that the Pacers made. And I think Carlisle did the best he could, sometimes having to call timeouts just to get these guys to slow down. Slow down. We really not that in bad of a situation. But I think these are the mistakes that young teams make. So I'm not so surprised that I see the Pacers making these mistakes. But this is why I was so surprised when I saw teams like the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Lakers, veteran-led teams, making these same mistakes. And that's why I was so tough on those two teams, because those two teams have the veteran leadership to know better than to fall into those types of problems right there. LeBron should be closing like Luka closes. You know, I saw an interesting video. I doubt I react to it. I saw the locker room did a video where he said LeBron is still better than Luka Doncic. And that's a tough one right there. Not sure if I'm gonna jump on that take right there. I don't agree, but you know, to each his own. You know, I told y'all, fans say the darndest things, or kids say the darndest things. Let's go ahead and get to it, man. We got some Pacer film for you guys. We're going to get through the first, second, and third quarter. Then we're also going to react to the film of yesterday's game, Dallas and Minnesota. I want to get to that as well. We got Tommy in the chat talking about R. Kelly. All right, man. I'm going to have to mod somebody up. Who's in the chat? Wiley, who can be the executioner for spammers in the chat today, man? Who can I trust with this mod? I got to give somebody a mod specifically for this chat today. Come on, man. Who is it? Who's going to be in this stream? Let me see who we got. Rebrandon. Who is in here, man? Let me see. I got to check up, see who's in here. Andre. I might have to do that for you, Andre. Hold on one second. Let me find somebody who could be a mod. All right, let me get rebranded. I'm gonna do rebranding and Andre. All right, can y'all please, man, for the spammers only, like I said, we don't block people that talk trash. We only block people that spam. And if you see some of the spammers come in, give them a warning with a timeout. If they keep spamming after the timeout, then just go ahead and either give them a 24 timeout or just block them all the way. Please don't abuse your mod powers. Please, I beg of you to not abuse it. But we definitely got to stop the spammers from muddying up the chat, man. I need that chat to be clean, man. But we're going to get to this film, man. Let's get to the film.
Well, their movement and their relentlessness on the offensive end requires great communication effort
Celtics
for the entire 24-second shot clock.
I got to let me know y'all thoughts on this game.
Tatum. Off game. Good luck, corner three.
Knockdown
go.
three.
Turner with a rebound.
Good look in the corner there to start the game. Pacers like, now look at the Pacers' pace of play, because the Pacers prided themselves on a very high pace of play, especially during the regular season.
Touch the ball.
Because I'm real big on talking about this right here. When I talk about help coming from the weak side, let's highlight this real quick. And it's on this next play. Let's get to this next play real quick. Okay, so I'm real big. What we see right here. So one of the philosophies, and this is an NBA philosophy, if you're going to be a no middle team, and this is something that I got on the Lakers about, right? This is something that the Pacers can fix right here. So you got Jason Tatum. You got basically 2-on-2 in the backcourt, you guys. Tatum is going to take this route right here. Okay? Tatum is taking that route right there. Help needs to get over. So we see the route that we know that Tatum, because they're in a no middle team. We know Tatum's going to go baseline on that attack. Because of that, this defender has to completely leave his man and go stop Tatum outside the lane lines. Right? I talk a lot about if you allow NBA scorers to get in the paint, they're going to score on you most times. Stopping these guys outside of the lane lines. What's another problem that you see here for the Pacers? Nobody's back on defense, because if this defender helps outside the lane lines, you're going to need this weak side defender to do what? Sprint down and pick up here. Sprinting down. This is called helping the helper. Helping the helper. Right? Obviously, this guy can just run to the middle of the floor to crowd the lane. That's what you want. Right? Guys got to really get back, at least get to the free throw line, then turn around and start defending. But those are some of the things that need to happen to be a successful defensive team. Right? Help outside the lane lines. That means go stop the ball. Right? Don't get split. Guys have to be sprinting down to go help the helper. Those are two things that got to happen. And so when we see this problem with young teams is young teams don't sprint back on defense. Some of the boring things. You get no points for sprinting back on defense. You get no kudos for sprinting back on defense. There's no fan or no YouTube show that's going to highlight, oh, he sprinted back on defense and give you points. You just have to go do it just because you want to go win the game. And this is where a lot of teams, like a player like Sam Hauser, y'all. Like, think about all of these other teams in the NBA. Ripping and running and trading players. Hauser's been on this Celtic team for a couple of years. Not the greatest pickup. Not the most flashy player. Not the most athletic player. But to be able to come in a playoff game and play meaningful minutes, that's just pure development. That's what's lost in this era of basketball. Why it's lost, it could be blamed on a number of things, but just purely developing players. And not developing guys to be stars, just developing guys to be role players, significant role players. And I see you guys. I'm gonna be giving you guys shout outs in a minute. Make sure you guys, when you come in, right, hit the pinned comment, man. Support the channel with a Cash App. Much appreciated if you guys can do that, man. It's FYF Sports. Good kick out right there. That's always been soft coverage. Allowing Horford, a man that hit 7 threes the last game, you cannot let him get loose again. That's on Miles Turner. And so this is another thing right here. Because we have all the idiots that say that guys like Rudy Gobert can't defend. This is one of the things that make defending as a center in today's game a nightmare. Players like Al Horford, who can knock down 7 threes, just like a couple years ago. No, I haven't sent it yet. Locker room, I need your my Cash App is messed up. My FYF Sports Cash App is messed up. You gotta give me your Zelle or your Venmo. I'm using a temporary Cash App right now. So I need your Zelle or Venmo. You can put it in the chat, or you could DM me on IG or something and just give it to me there. But I got you. Salute to Black. Black says Lamont knows basketball. Don't do that. He's not. Y'all got to stop, man. Lucas says give Locker Room his money. Locker Room going to get it. Andre76 says shots fired. Neesmith is tough. Yeah, Neesmith in that game 1 was playing unbelievable basketball. Unbelievable basketball, y'all. Dietrich AD says, nah, Indiana's. Yeah, but see, Dietrich, offensive rating is not a good utensil to determine the better offense. Because it could be said that the Pacers' offensive rating was elevated because they played soft teams, right? They played a Philly team with really no rim protection and no healthy Joel Embiid. So, it is what it is. Zelle, or it doesn't matter. Either one of those, I could do Cash App. It just makes it a little difficult because I'm going to have to do it through somebody else's account. So any three, just DM me on IG or put it in the Discord, and I got you. Or you can just put it here in the chat, and I'll come back to it. Don't matter. Just somewhere where I can reference back to it. Oh, we got an offensive. Refs bailed him out right there. Oh. Uh-oh. Don't worry about it. We gonna keep it rocking. I just gotta stop the video. YouTube be tripping. Y'all just make sure y'all let me know when the string back up. There we go. All right, we should be back. We should be back, y'all. Yeah, I'm back now. Don't worry about it. Yeah, they get to tripping when I gotta pre-record a lot of these. I should have next time I'm just gonna pre-record it. That way I could just take care of the copyright when I upload the video. Right? That's all it is. But I think y'all get the gist of it. I might try. I want to try to do the Minnesota game. All right. Let me email my guy at NBA Playmakers real quick so he can flag my stream, and that way they don't take it down when I get back to the film. I'm gonna reach out to my homie real quick. Make sure y'all let me know y'all let me know who y'all got in this series, man. Dallas. Who y'all got? Dallas. Yeah, I know. I saw it so crazy TV. They get to tripping, man, when you do them film studies. Salute to Jason Brown, man, in the chat. Salute to Andre. I see y'all still here. Appreciate it. He says the Mavs need the other big. He says that other big just got hurt. I don't know if it's an injury. I don't know if it's an injury that's gonna keep him out the series though. That's the thing. He might miss a few games against Minnesota, but I don't know if it's gonna keep him out the series. So I think he'll be fine. No, it is what it is. Wally, it's cool. It's cool. That's just how they do, man. That's just YouTube. That's just YouTube. I'm just waiting for my homie to hit me back from NBA Playmakers, so they should flag my stream, and I should be good to continue it. I just got to reach out to him real quick. Salute to Iron Man 32. Who y'all got winning? Mavs Celtics, man. How y'all think that's going to play out? I think, man, that series right there is going to be tough, man. I mean, can Dallas go into Boston and steal one of those first 2 games? That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough right there. Lively got a neck sprain. Well, Maxi Kleber been out the whole playoffs, though. Maxi Kleber ain't played a game. I don't expect, and I wouldn't even have expected Maxi Kleber to get significant minutes, even if he was healthy. The way P.J. Washington is playing, Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively, I don't even see any minutes. It's just kind of like Tim Hardaway Jr. The way some of the guys out there playing now with Derek, the way Derek Jones Jr. is playing, they don't need Tim Hardaway Jr. Because Tim Hardaway's just another guy that wants to score, and he's not going to give you much defensively. They got 2 guys that can score. They need people that's going to be able to rebound, offensive rebound, knock down timely shots. Derek Jones Jr. has been giving them that. And then you got Josh Green coming in, better defender. He's been doing the same thing as well. Yeah, Maxey went out in the first round. Sometimes them injuries help you. They're actually better without him. Maxey was a soft on the defensive end too. Yeah, but Porzingis should be healthy by the finals. That could be a significant X factor for the Boston Celtics, though. That could be a crazy X factor. You said it's laid out red carpet for the Celtics. I don't want to say it's as red carpet as you think. I wouldn't want to play this Dallas team right now. This the out of all the teams in the West, I wouldn't want to play Dallas. Not the way Kyrie, because Kyrie and Luka are a problem because they're going to score. They're going to go on some of these crazy stretches where they're scoring even against elite defense. Like you can literally, like imagine 10, 12 plays in a row. Imagine 10, 12 plays in a row. You done played elite defense. And Kyrie and Luka still done made 8 or 10 shots on you. Like just combine between those two. That's the problem with Kyrie and Luka. Like Luka makes these crazy step back one to Luka though, because Luka, like wherever height they're reporting for Luka is not accurate. I think they be reporting like 6'7" for Luka. Luka ain't 6'7". I've seen him in person. Luka is 6'9". He has to be at least 6'9". At least. I don't know why they keep reporting him at 6'8", 6'7". He definitely way taller than that. So he's just a problem. You can't defend him. Wally says ain't got no mid-post game. Who you talking about? Oh, no, Wally says high level. Oh, what did Wally say? I just saw your comment, Wally. It just went away. My bad. Swish Life says Wally ain't got no mid-post game. Nah, Wally was a problem when he hooped Swish. Wally was damn near All-American. I can't even knock Wally. Wally was an All-American. Man, it's one thing to be D1, but then to go to be D1 and be one of the best players in the country, that's a whole nother thing. That's the one thing we can't knock Wally there. He got the credentials. He got the credentials, man. He go crazy in the chat sometimes, but he got the credentials. Ishmael says NBA players are not as tall as listed. Well, I know Dame isn't 6'4". Dame is maybe 6'1". But see, Ishmael, the problem is it's rare that you see players underreport their size. Luka size gets underreported. Luka definitely a lot taller than that. Locker Room says, let's see if you put a spoof video out about losing a bet. I mean, Locker Room, I lost a bet to Mr. Moss. I mean, it's just a bet. I mean, Locker Room, on a very short list of accomplishments you've had in your life, if winning a bet against me is something that you want to gloat about, go ahead, man. I'm fine with that. I mean, it is. It's okay, man. Wally says, Swish, I'm not playing. Yeah, I know. Wally, man, it don't matter, man. They're going to get on you. They gonna get on you. I'm gonna get to this box score here. We're gonna break this box score down while I'm waiting on my homie to hit me back. All right, hold on, y'all. Let's get to this box score. Box score really don't tell. This box score really won't tell the full story, because I feel like the Pacers, man, just in the fourth quarter were a nightmare to watch. Come on, Lucas. You got to stop spamming, Lucas, man. Time for you to stop spamming. All right, hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me get this box score going. Wally says Luka's a problem. He can get anywhere on the floor to score and help his teammates score, which is the key. Yeah, I agree. Jason, I don't know how much synergy costs because I get it through Grand Canyon University. So I know our university pays for it. So I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, so, but I know it's not super expensive. The crazy thing about it is I actually met the guy that created Synergy. It's a dude named Scott Mossman. He actually coaches a school out here called SAGU. They were a really good program. They had a D2 team. They was the number 9 team in the country. But I met the guy that created Synergy, which is crazy. You know, crazy, man. But yeah, he sold it, and now he's just coaching out here. I mean, you probably walked past them in Walmart and you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know, but good dude, man. He coaches out here in Arizona, man. You run into all types of people out here in AZ. But I met him back in December. We had a tournament, the Phoenix College Invitational. We had a tournament, and they were actually looking at our point guard. So, yeah, good dude, man. Good dude. One of the best coaches, man. Actually, went to one of their team's workouts this summer, man. Legit, man. Looks like they're going to be able to run it back. Got a solid team. But Synergy is a lot different now, though. He says Synergy is $49.99 basic package. Yeah, it shouldn't be too expensive, though. It's not too expensive. Rebrandon says calling locker room pull-up podcast is disrespectful. Don't do cuz like that. I didn't call him pull-up podcast. Maybe somebody in the chat did. Jason said, I'm trying to get it for some of my young guys. Work out. Yeah, it's good. I think Synergy is really good for, like, if you're able to get the if you have the team set up where they can send you that camera and they start tracking like your practices and your makes and misses in practices. Boy, Synergy's elite in practice. I just think in game, it's hard to say how effective it is in game because there's so many variables that change games up, man. So it's hard for me to say how elite it is. All right, we got this box score right here. If I can't get the string back up, man, we're just going to have to go through these box scores. I might try to run through the Minnesota game, though. I'm going to try to run through the Minnesota game. Actually, let me get that Minnesota game up, too. So I think I should be good with that one. Here, I'll do it in a second here. All right, man. Pacers lose this one, 105-102. A series where I thought the Pacers were at least going to be able to get one just with the home court that they got. But into this game right here, remember what I told y'all. I said the Celtics are going to get threes up. They shot 14 of 44 from the three. They only shot 31% from the three. But they're going to chuck up a ton of threes, so they really rely on a ton of mistakes to stay in the game. All right, Jason Tatum, solid game, though. He was 3-11 from the three, but he's still 11-26 on the night. Not horrible. 13 rebounds. I almost had a triple-double. Horford, quiet game. More quiet from game 3. Horford was barbecuing him in game 3. Holiday, 7-13, solid game. White, another solid game, 16 out of him. And then Brown, not as efficient, 4-8 from the 3, though. 4 big threes, mind you that. 29 points. They didn't really get much help off the bench. Pritchard and Brissett gave him 5. For the Pacers, man, I felt like they should have played T.J. McConnell a lot more. They only played T.J. McConnell 25 minutes. I thought whenever T.J. McConnell played, and I know he got that flagrant foul on him. I don't even know if the refs called it a flagrant, so I don't know if he really came back after that. But the more minutes you play T.J. McConnell with this Pacer team, the better off you are. And it just seems like they lost rhythm. But the trade-off is that when you put Neimarhart in with T.J. McConnell, now you got an extremely small backcourt. And so now you're just going to be getting barbecue consistently on the other end, especially if Miles Turner really ain't trying to defend that night. So you got T.J. McConnell with 15 points off the bench, Toppin with 12. Neimarhart, 24, another big game from him. Shepherd, good defense, good defensive game for him, especially on Jason Tatum, but it wasn't enough. Turner, disappointing, man. Only 8 points to close out this series, man. I know they wanted a little bit more out of him. I just hated that this man only took 6 shots, and 5 of those shots were all threes. And when you think about Miles Turner, that's just Miles Turner. You got to be doing better than that. Miles Turner and that's something that PJ Carlisle, those guys, they got to go look at that. Carlisle has to find a way to get Turner at least 15 to 20 shots per game, and they can't be 6 threes or 5 threes. So he goes 8 points on the night. He only has 4 rebounds on the night. This tells you about Turner. Like, a lot of people wonder why, teams are not so quick or not so thirsty to go try to trade for Miles Turner. It's because of nights like tonight, 4 rebounds, right? And then when you look at on the defensive end, really soft coverage on the defensive end. I know he was looked at as one of the better defensive players in the league because I think at one point in time he might have been leading the league in blocks. But defensively, man, as far as your system goes, probably not going to be a key cog there. Miles Turner, probably you want to look to somewhere. You probably got to look there. Nesmith, solid. Probably one of this might put him on the map. If he, like I said, he's one of those young players where if he hasn't got his extension yet, if he's up for being a restricted free agent this summer, he's about to get paid. Siakam, solid night, 19 and 10, just wasn't enough for the Pacers. So again, they had some rotational and matchup issues. But I just think the Celtics were just a better team, just outclassed them. No matter how you slice it, they just outclassed them. And this Celtic team, when you look at how deep they are, we're not even talking about Pritchard, Sam Hauser. They really didn't even use Xavier Tillman like that. When you look at the depth of this team and some of the guys that didn't play, Jordan Walsh, guy that didn't even play. Maya Chulik, a guy that didn't even play. Luke Cornett really didn't even play. I mean, they only went about 3 deep on the bench. They got a lot of depth on this team. Derek White, unbelievable. Balanced lineup, balanced attack. Holiday, balanced attack there. Great defense, by the way, for Holiday tonight. Then when you look at Tatum and Brown, when those two are scoring, and then imagine what their depth is going to look like, because more than likely, let's see here, more than likely it's going to be Horford that gets bumped down to the bench if Porzingis comes back. So now you're talking about getting Porzingis back. Your depth is going to be even crazier. So, it's going to get to, looking at what Dallas is going to have to do. Dallas is going to have a tall task ahead of them if they're looking to beat this Celtic team, especially when Porzingis come back. I think for Porzingis, it's just, can he gel? After being out, can he gel and get back into the speed of playoff basketball? The finals is a different beast. Porzingis hasn't played in the finals. He's going to be fresh, but is he going to be healthy enough to play at peak level? Because he's going to have to deal with PJ Washington. He's going to have to deal with Gafford, Lively. He's going to have a lot to deal with on his end on the other side of the ball, because guys like PJ Washington, they're making shots now. Duke Blaylock says LeBron has closed on multiple occasions. So I guess she said, Wally said LeBron isn't a closer like Kobe or MJ. Boy, Duke, he's just not. He's not a closer like Kobe or MJ. Kobe and MJ were different types of closers. It just is what it is. Different conversation when we go to other aspects of the game. Just a different conversation. Slim Bake says, you never paid. Who's old dude? I don't know who old dude is. Cole. The only person I bet was locker room. All right, well, we about to pull up the film. I just heard back from my guy. I should be good for the Minnesota game. He just flagged my channel. He says that guy was 4-10. Wally, I think that's where you lose on that one, Wally. Because, I don't think LeBron is 4-10 in the finals because he wasn't clutch. He's 4-10 in the finals because he's ran into some monster teams. It's like far superior teams. I don't know. I don't care how clutch you were. You're not beating KD and the Golden State Warriors. You can be as clutch as you want. Jordan wouldn't been able to beat he wasn't gonna be able to beat that Warriors team. Like, it just is what it is. Cooper says Brown is the greatest closer ever. I don't know about that, but I guess he has some arguments. You could say that. Oh, you talking about Slim Bates? Slim Bates? Oh, he bet somebody. Oh, well, I don't know, man. Why don't y'all that's his bet. If y'all got a bet going on, I don't know. Cole said, I got him. But, man, Slim Bates, y'all don't have to answer the other random people in the chat about y'all bets, man. Y'all bets are y'all bets. You got to explain it to them. Like, imagine explaining, what is that going to do? What is Cole going to do? Is Cole going, unless Cole is going to report back to whoever you owe and give them the message. Come on, man. LeBron, MJ, and Kobe are great closers. Kobe and MJ are better contested shooter. Yeah. It's just different. I think y'all look at closing like it's all offense. Closing is more than offense. Closing is both sides of the ball. Closing is the entire fourth quarter. Closing is game sevens. Y'all can't relegate closing to the last buzzer-beating shot, the guy that makes the buzzer beater. There's a lot of things that happen before that buzzer beater happens that, like, if you think about it, Pippen was just as an elite of a closer as MJ, but in his own way. Because the things that Scottie Pippen did defensively, his ability to facilitate, he was just as responsible, right? You got clutch guys on that team like John Paxson and Steve Kerr that were able to knock down big shots. They were clutch in their own rights. So if you guys think that clutch is just all offense, okay. If it's just the guy that makes the game winner, then I think that's very low standard for clutch. I think Brown might be one of the best players in game sevens in NBA history. Is that clutch? It's different ways you could be great. LeBron lost 6 times. That is not a good look. That's team. LeBron didn't lose. His team's lost. This is not 1-on-5 though, Wally. LeBron was on a team that lost. It's like, Wally, I can put you, like, if I put you on a team, I can take you back to you being in your absolute prime. If I put you on a team with 4 10-year-olds, even you guys wouldn't be able to beat a high school basketball team. It don't matter. It don't matter what you can do, Wally. So if you lose with 4 10-year-olds on your team to a high school team, am I going to run around and say Wally choked? Or I'm just be like, damn, this other team was just better. Sometimes the other team is just better. That's all I be saying. Like, I think y'all just run to saying somebody choked far too quick to say somebody's not clutch, or you put all the loss on one person. Especially LeBron in his prime. Now, LeBron this year, okay, maybe there are some things he did as an individual player that maybe had a bigger impact towards losing. But LeBron in his prime wasn't making those mistakes, not the mistakes that we saw this year. Iron Man says LeBron is the most clutch player in NBA history. That could be argued. But I just think that if y'all going to talk about clutch, talk about all of it. Talk about all elements of clutch. And you know, I think that's what people don't like to do with LeBron James. And then I think people get mad at LeBron James or LeBron James fans for talking about his entire game. When in basketball is not like football, y'all. You have to play both ends. There's not just one quarterback. Sometimes you have to go be the quarterback on offense. Sometimes you have to be the wide receiver type, right? That goes scores a lot. We've seen LeBron literally play every role offensively. We've seen LeBron be elite defensively in the clutch. We've seen him be elite for entire games in game sevens. We've seen him be elite against arguably one of the not arguably, the best regular season team of all time, to the tune of beating them in the NBA Finals. I mean, I think y'all spend so much time trying to talk about the losses, y'all forget about the times when he actually won, the times when he actually was clutch. Because for every one time that you can identify that he wasn't clutch, I can probably go 5 to 1. For every one bad moment that you can find in the clutch, I could probably find 5 to 10 good moments. And I can match you like that. I was on Goat James Kingdom channel. I was talking to a guy, and that's why I said, why y'all sit here and talk about the negative with LeBron? I said, that's not why we having this conversation. We're not having this conversation because LeBron is one of the worst players of all time. We're having this conversation because of all the great stuff that he did. He says, Lamont, you take LeBron and give me MJ all day. All right, well, I mean, but what do you mean? Like, what does that mean, though? Like, what do I do with that, though, Wally? How do we actually utilize that and do that in real life? I can't. The only thing we can do, Wally, is look at LeBron's career and judge him fairly, and then look at Jordan's career and judge him fairly. And salute to Peralta, man, just subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you joining the channel. Hey, y'all, we're going to get to this Minnesota Timberwolves film, man. Hopefully they don't hit us again. My homie from NBA Playmakers just said he got my channel hooked up, so we should be good for this next game. Hold on, let me get here. Let me get this other game up.
Visuals.
Right. Hopefully we should be good.
Brothers tonight, 2,000 NBA games under his belt. Referee Ben Taylor, umpire Curtis Blair.
All right, we should be good.
Gobert, shot clock at 3. Cutting, Conley. Got it. You got to do a better job navigating
This audio on.
Dallas that low in the shot clock. Gafford is in the corner, and this is a 3.
Big shot right there. Told y'all PJ Washington's going to be huge in NBA Finals. He's been big in this series right here. Anthony Edwards. Minnesota's offense kind of got stagnated a little bit. Conley knocked down 3. Good shot right there by Conley. Luka in this pick and roll. We're going to highlight some stuff about this pick and roll and why it's so difficult to guard, because good defense right there is still offense. And so this is what I'm talking about right here. Like, you play perfect defense and you still get barbecued. This is something I'm gonna be watching for with the Boston Celtics, because now they're gonna be going up against a better offense. And not only are they gonna make the easy shots, but they're gonna also make far more tough shots. See, the Spacer team didn't have anybody that can make the tough shots. Reggie says, see what happens when you make trades. No, Reg, see, this is where I think you missed a message. I think we all knew that the Lakers needed to make moves. If there were any real moves available, I think everybody understood that this Laker roster, as constructed, needed some major changes, especially to the bench and role guys. But Reg, this isn't NBA 2K. You can't just go see a player here or there and just have them on your team because you want them there. You have to go negotiate with that team, and that other team, you have to actually have something that the other team sees as valuable. The problem with the Lakers is that, I don't know, I don't want to act like I was in those back rooms You know, a lot of people like to use Bleacher Report and Fadeaway World as their resource as to who the Lakers were really trying to trade for. We all know that the Lakers were trying to make a trade, just like a lot of other teams were trying to make trades and better their rosters. But if you've made a ton of bad moves and you have no assets or real players to trade, then you're just not going to be in the market to make any trades. The Lakers just did, because and there were a lot of teams, like, I don't even think they gave up much for Gafford. Like, let me pull up Dallas. Dallas, they didn't even give up, like, to get Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington, they didn't give up much other than picks. Let me see what they traded. And I think they also gave up their disgruntled player. I forgot his name. They sent him to the Charlotte Hornets. Let's see. Let me pull up their trades real quick. Just don't tell me who they traded for. All right, here it is right here. The Mavs acquire PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford at the trade deadline. All right, so because the Mavs had the assets. So the Mavs sent Grant Williams, which is a guy they signed in the offseason, and Seth Curry to the Charlotte Hornets, including a first-round draft pick. They had those assets to get PJ Washington. A first-round draft pick, Seth Curry, and Grant Williams. 2 players, solid players at that, mind you. These aren't bad players. And a first-round draft pick. You have to have the assets to make these trades happen, right? When you talk about getting Daniel Gafford from Washington, because they lack depth, let's see what they did to get Daniel Gafford. All right. It says the Mavericks started the dominoes by completing a trade with Oklahoma City Thunder to acquire a 2024 pick from OKC. It says the Mavs agreed to swap picks with the Thunder, which means they can take whatever draft selection is higher. This paved the way for bigger deals. The second move of the deadline was with Washington, 6'7" forward. Started his prep career at Frisco Lane. So they obviously went and got PJ Washington. Let's see what they did to get Daniel Gafford. Hold on. Trying to find it right here. Oh, was it Rashad Holmes? I think it was Rashad Holmes. I can't find it specifically, but I think the biggest thing is to make these trades, you actually have to have the draft picks and players to trade. You have to have the live bodies to trade. And the players that you give up actually have to be pieces that the other team wants. And so I think for the Charlotte Hornets, I think they might have been more interested in that first round draft pick. Maybe they hold on to Seth Curry, hometown favorite, who's from Charlotte. Maybe they do. Their defense got significantly better when they traded for Grant Williams. I think at one point in time after the trade deadline, the Charlotte Hornets were like top 5 in defense with Grant Williams, so he could potentially be a mainstay there. But the main thing with these trades is you can imagine trades in your head all you want, but trades can't be fictional out of your brain. They have to be realistic for both sides. So, yes, the Lakers need a whole bunch of stuff. They need youth. They need depth. They need size in the backcourt. They need a point guard. They need 3-and-D players. They literally have holes every which way you look. They don't have any draft assets or capital to go and fix any of that. The days of the Lakers finessing teams is over with. I'm sorry. I do apologize, you guys. So it is. It's over. So the Lakers, and maybe you guys can figure it out. But like I said, I expect another dull and boring summer for the Lakers, primarily because D'Angelo Russell controls their future. Salute to Wild Peace in the chat. He says, what was your prediction between the Mavs and Timberwolves? Actually, my prediction was, I don't even think I made a prediction for that series. I never made a prediction for that series. I like both teams. Mavs, their offense, elevated defense. Timberwolves, youth, they on the rise. Best defensive team in the playoffs. I mean, it was just what team is, whose will was going to overpower whose will. He says, damn, you forgot Lamont, LeBron, you need to retire? Nah, I didn't forget. I don't think I made a pick. I just didn't make a pick. I think somebody had asked me about it, and I said, that's a tough one to call. Nope, but and you got to think, Wally, those generally tend to be the best series. The ones where when it comes downtown to make a pick, you're like, damn, I really got to think about this. Let's get to this real quick right here. Karl-Anthony Towns was a nightmare this series, man. His game is completely went to the garbage can. Ant-Man drives baseline. Good floater right there.
The way that the Mavericks employ those two guys and just tag team them.
Good jumper right there.
Beautiful shot by Edwards. There's an opening for one.
Good kick. Way to get middle, too easy. So we're going to run that back. Because a lot of people would sit there, and this is what I said. Rudy Gobert has the hardest job on the floor. Rudy Gobert has the hardest job on the floor because the first mistake was the defender allowing his man to literally just waltz into the middle of the lane. That wasn't even a pick and roll, I don't think, Andre. The defender just got beat. The offensive player literally just waltzes into the lane. Rudy Gobert now has to play too. And Rudy Gobert is put in this situation time after time. Oh, we're going to run this back. I want y'all to really see this. I think it's on this next play. Ant-Man just disappeared. So we're going to watch this next play right here. Okay, so look at this right here. That's Karl-Anthony Towns. Bad closeout by Karl-Anthony Towns. Right? He over pursues on the closeout. And so what does he allow his man to do? He just allows his man to waltz into the middle of the lane. Okay, so where are all the people barbecuing Karl-Anthony Towns for atrocious defense? Because this happened time after time after time in this particular game. Karl-Anthony Towns was not just bad offensively because people only care about offense, it seems. He was atrocious on the defensive side of the ball. And this was one of those, thank you, Wally, not stopping the ball. You over pursue on the closeout. Now, Rudy Gobert does what he's supposed to do. Rudy Gobert steps up. So now, Rudy Gobert steps up. Now, what did I talk to you guys about before? Right? What did I talk to you guys about before? Help guy is supposed to drop down and take away the post to help him out. Y'all see the help man? This is the help man. This is the guy responsible for helping Rudy Gobert. Because Karl-Anthony Towns played no defense, Rudy Gobert has to step up and help Karl-Anthony Towns, who just got barbecued. Now, Rudy Gobert's man is wide open at the rim. Who on this Minnesota team, because people are talking about, because we have to hold this Minnesota team to a high standard, because we were saying that this is the best defensive team in the league. Weren't we saying this? Were we not saying this? So let's hold them as a team to the high standard of a great defensive team. This is the help guy. He's supposed to be going down to help Rudy Gobert. Now, as this play unfolds, who goes to help Rudy Gobert? Nobody. Nobody goes to help Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert's left to play two people. And then now you have an easy score at the rim. How does Rudy Gobert consistently defend that time and time again, play after play after play? How does he defend that? I want you guys to ask yourselves that. Thank you, Wally. Towns doesn't stop the ball. Second defender's out of position. And then Rudy Gobert, because Wally, me and you both know, breakdowns happen sometimes. But good defensive teams know how to fix the breakdowns when they happen. This is why you have to go help the helper. Nobody is helping Rudy Gobert when these breakdowns happen. There were multiple, but you know what's going to ultimately happen? Is that when Rudy Gobert's man scores this bucket, that's going to impact Rudy Gobert's defensive rating because his man scored. And what you're going to have is you're going to have a whole bunch of people at the end of the game running to Rudy Gobert's plus minus and his defensive rating. And they're going to say, oh, his defensive rating was X, Y, and Z. He was bad. Oh, his plus minus was X, Y, and Z. He was bad when the mistakes started with other players and ended with other players. That's why I tell people, watch the game before you come to these really odd assessments of players, especially a player that's 3-4 time defensive player of the year. But I guess that's Gobert's fault, right? I guess that's Gobert's fault. That lively score right there. Another play right there. What did I tell you guys they're going to do to Rudy Gobert? They're going to consistently pull him away from the rim over and over. But people want to blame Rudy Gobert. There's another play right here. Let's run this one back. Right? Rudy Gobert. Let me show you guys this next play. Okay, so we watching this play right here. They're putting Rudy Gobert in the pick and roll. Now, Rudy Gobert's in the pick and roll. Now, Wally. Now, the only person in the chat I would expect to know this is Wally. On a pick and roll going to the middle of the floor, who picks up the roll guy? Strong side corner. So it's this guy, Anthony Edwards right here. He's supposed to be picking up the roll guy. When you pick up the roll guy, what do you do to the roll guy if you're a guard on a big? You dig into his body. You're never going to beat him up top, so you have to dig into his body. You just have to fight him, and you cannot allow him to get to the rim. That's all you have to do. Rudy Gobert's doing his job. But you see how Rudy Gobert's hands are high? Rudy Gobert's hands are high because Rudy Gobert can't allow this pass right here to the corner. That's what Rudy Gobert can't do. Now, the help is in good position. Mike Conley is 1 foot in the paint. Strong side defense. You can't leave because you're one pass away, so you have to stay connected there. But Rudy Gobert's doing his job. Rudy Gobert's only job right here, protect this passing angle right here to this guy in the corner. You cannot allow that guy get the ball. So that's why Rudy Gobert is playing at that specific angle. Mike Conley's doing a good job, 1 foot in the paint right here. Kyle Anderson right here is doing a good job. Strong side help. He can't do anything but help. So Mike Conley needs to play it two ways. Mike Conley has really on this play the entire baseline, right? Because Anthony Edwards has to pick up and fight the roll guy. Mike Conley now has to protect this corner three, and he has to protect his own corner three right here. That's why he needs 1 foot in the paint. So his head needs to be on a swivel, 1 foot in the paint. He has to play two guys right now because they're consistently putting Rudy Gobert in the pick and roll. I told you guys, the Dallas Mavericks and Jason Kidd are not stupid. They are not going to allow Rudy Gobert to stand on the perimeter, stand in the paint and just be an elite rim protector the entire game. They're gonna bring him out by putting him into the pick and roll. But Rudy Gobert's doing his job on this play right here. Have y'all heard anybody talk about Anthony Edwards not picking up the roll guy? Do you guys even care that Anthony Edwards is not picking up the roll guy? See, most of y'all don't care that Anthony Edwards is not doing his job right here because there's no stat that tells you. There's no stat. There's no statistical measurement. There's no award. There's no accolade that Anthony Edwards will get for doing his job on this particular play. Wally says Conley is in no man's land. No, Conley's not playing. Conley's not in no man's land. Because Conley has 1 foot in the paint. Conley's exactly where he needs to be, right? He's one step, so he's 2 steps off the ball. Because remember, Conley's 2 passes away. He's 2 passes away, so he's 2 steps off the ball. Luka makes this pass, he can get there, right? All he has to do is be in no middle. If his man drives baseline, Anthony Edwards comes to help. But that's how you have to play this. But you have to put 2 in the box, Wally, because you got Luka with the ball. Luka with the ball, you have to put 2 in the box. 2 with 1 foot in the box. So you got Anthony Edwards 1 foot in the box, Conley 1 foot in the box, Anderson 1 foot in the box. Now you just have to have everybody do their job because Luka's just that dude. So as we play this, Edwards doesn't pick up Lively. Lively scores again. So now Lively's just scored again. That's going to impact Rudy Gobert's defensive numbers because that's his man. So at the end of the game, when you guys see that Lively has 8, 10 points or whatever, are y'all going to blame Rudy Gobert or are you actually going to rerun the play and really talk about how Anthony Edwards didn't pick up the roll guy to prevent this from happening? Oh, you said I'm talking about the skip pass to the corner. Well, see, so Rudy Gobert is the one that prevented the skip pass to the opposite corner because Rudy Gobert came with high hands and did his job perfectly on the switch. So Luka, you can tell Luka was actually looking to that corner, but he couldn't because Rudy Gobert was playing it correctly with high hands. But Rudy Gobert won't get credit for that. People are just going to say he's a bad defender. Thank you, Andre76. Nobody's going to blame Matt because what I said was nobody understands defense. And I don't even want to say a lot of them don't understand. I don't even think they care to understand. Because the flashy thing to do on YouTube now is just to be negative and denigrate any player based on the numbers that you find off Basketball Reference or Stat Hub or wherever, StatMuse, wherever these people get their stats from. That's the new thing to do. Go to StatMuse, see what type of fancy calculations you can come up with, and that's what I'm going to use to determine who's good on the basketball court or not. Sad. It's sad, man. Did y'all hear Stan Van Gundy say it? I can run that back. I'm going to turn the audio up. Stan Van Gundy, an NBA coach, just said late on the rotation. Let me turn it up so y'all can hear that. Just so y'all can hear that one part. I'm going to turn it right back down.
Wow. Coming in for the Mavs. Here is Doncic finding Lively again. Boy, that has worked almost every pass down low.
Well, again, they were late on the rotation.
Late on the rotations. Is that Rudy Gobert's fault? He has the most difficult job on the floor. Jason Brown, they don't understand it. I've been trying to teach him for the last couple years. People still don't know. Or like I said, Jason, people don't care to learn it or they don't care to understand it. The fancy, flashy thing to do on YouTube now is just to be negative wherever it's popular to be negative. That's all it is. Minnesota, good job getting to the middle of the floor. McDaniels, man, getting to his offense, man. Good shot right there. But Luka is attacking out that corner. Strong side can't leave. Luka, good defense. He's barbecuing good defense, Wally. We just talked about it, Wally. Luka and Kyrie are going to barbecue good defense. Turnover right there. Unselfish. Ant-Man, hand at the rim. DHL coming out the corner. Kyrie, Euro. Good defense, better offense. Can't do nothing about that. That's just Kyrie being Kyrie. Ant-Man with the ball. Close out the first. Tough shot. Knocks it down. Minnesota only down 4. Says Matt Daniels a great defender, but he has some lapses defensively in this series. You're right. Coming off. Pick and roll. Good defense. Nasty cross. What y'all gonna do? Like, what do you like Wally? Like, if I'm literally if I'm like coaching, like, what do you do as a coach? Like, how do you coach against that? That's just Kyrie Irving being elite, man. You ain't no defense you can really run up against that. Too many counters.
Out of bounds, and it's off of the Dallas Mavericks.
This is where Lively hits his head, man. So this is where people said he got the neck strain.
Boy, his body has taken a beating tonight. Did he get hit in the head?
He said, shout out. Nah, not shout out to J Kidd, T-Killer. Shout out to Kyrie. J Kidd didn't draw that up. That's Kyrie just being a magician with the basketball. That ain't no, like, I tell y'all, players make coaches look good. Coaches don't make players look good. Players make coaches look good. Cat coming off. Good roll. That's when Denver went small, so they were really trying to take advantage of Dallas. I mean, Dallas went small. They were trying to take advantage of Dallas with that small lineup. Kyrie with another three right there. Yeah, Kyrie just on another level. Towns, man, good take, man. Should have been doing a little bit more of that. So I think he's been settling for too many threes. Luka, man, another tough three. Knocks it down. 60-49. And they really put Minnesota in a tough hole, right? In Dallas, you lost both games at home. Now you down in Dallas, trying to pull off another miracle comeback. Doncic just feeling it now. The guy that's 6'9", 6'10" on the perimeter can do it all. Now you just letting them barbecue. Kyrie and one. Ain't no defense. This is where I say this is where the Celtics are gonna get in trouble. They struggle with the Pacers because they could force the Pacers into taking bad shots and they would miss bad shots. Dallas is gonna take bad shots, so they're gonna make those. Good lob right there by Luka. Again, you putting Rudy Gobert in the pick and roll. Y'all saw the look on Rudy Gobert's face right there. He's shrugging like, man, where the help at? I agree, Wally. The point of attack has to be physical. The point of attack has to be physical. The point of attack ain't physical. You're going to get barbecued. You just got to be physical with whoever's bringing it up. You got to make life hell for them and live with the results. But the Celtics got Derek White and Drew Holiday. I mean, if there's two guards that could be physical and create havoc, it's Derek White and Drew Holiday. And the Celtics luckily got both of them. Karl-Anthony Towns, man. Good take right there. Tough, man. He's 6'9". Like, it's just tough. He's tall. Like, high release point, and he's tall. I mean, he plays exactly how you're supposed to play if you 6'9" and you running the point. You kind of think he's like Magic Johnson with better offense, kind of. The finals going to be competitive. Yeah, the finals going to be fun. It's going to be about will. This is where Minnesota really fights and gets back into this game. Gafford, good rebound right there. Off to the races right here with Kyrie. Kyrie says, no. What do you do with that? Good defense, better offense. That's just Kyrie saying, I'm just like that. That's just Kyrie. Good ball movement. Look at the Dallas ball movement. They've already had one ball reversal here. Luka step back. Good defense, better offense. How many shots have we said that with this Dallas team? Good defense, better offense. Good take right there by Naz Reid. I thought when he got this dunk right here, I thought Minnesota was going to win the game right there. Late game turnovers. Late game turnovers will lose you the game. Kyle Anderson, that was a nasty turnover. 6 minutes to go in the fourth. Tie game at 100. Luka, Naz Reid, another matchup. What are you supposed to do? Good defense, better offense. Shake the man's hand. Can't do nothing about it. Good shot by Anderson right there. Slow, deliberate. Magic Johnson shoots better. Luka is tough. I don't think Magic shoots. Yeah, oh, you said slow, deliberate. Magic Johnson that shoots better. Yeah, I agree. That's why I said And Wally, what makes it all worse is that he actually playing defense now, which makes it worse. PJ Washington, big shot right there. 107, 105. Remember, in-game situations. Who can slow down? Who can be great? And look, y'all, when the game, this is what me and Wiley be talking about. When you're in a tight game, Minnesota, great defensively. Do you risk giving it to anybody else, or you just give it to your best players and tell them to go be great? Luka just made this shot. This was just them giving him the ball. This is not a design play. What Luka just did right here has nothing to do with role players. This is just basically Luka understanding it's a close game right now, and I just need to go be great. Nasty shot right there. Put him up 6, 107. Big block right there. Way to defend. Sneaky defense in Wiley. I haven't heard too many people actually giving him his credit for improved defense. Him or Kyrie. Everybody keep talking about their offense. It's their defense. He been like this offensively. Nasty. Who do we blame? And see, Wally, me and you both know Rudy Gobert probably done cussed a whole bunch of them out in the locker room. Because ultimately it's Rudy Gobert. The optics, the way that they're scoring the optics from most casual fans is to blame Rudy Gobert. He's the problem. He's the fraud. Rudy Gobert gets so pissed because he knows y'all ain't helping me. Y'all getting barbecued on the front line. I have to step up and help. And when I step up and help, y'all not helping me on the backside. Let me get to the box score real quick. Hell of a game, man. Dallas wins that one 116-107. They up 3-0 in the series, man. I think they surprising the world, man. There's no help, Andre. Because, like I say, Andre, the formula is simple. They're going to go pick and roll until Minnesota just starts. They're basically saying, if I'm Minnesota at this point in time, I'm just going to start going under screens. I'm just going to risk it. Because and at least if you go under screens, you're keeping them in front. You're probably going to, but I would much rather see Dallas chuck up 40, 45 threes as opposed to consistently getting into the paint, literally having it your way every time they get to the middle of the floor. They can go score layups. They can shoot step back mid-ranges. They can throw lobs. They can do step back threes. Literally, like at this point, at this stage, I'm just going to go under on everything. He says Naz Reid wasn't helping at all on the backside. None of them were helping on the backside. They're supposed to be helping on that backside. They're just allowing Rudy Gobert to get barbecued. He says there's nothing the T-Wolves can do at this point. I don't want to say there's nothing that they can do because anything can happen. You still got to be, you can't just give up and just give them the series. You have to still try to fight. But I just think the way you attack has to be a lot different. Dallas is not going to stop. Dallas is not going to stop the pick and rolls. They're going to pick and roll this Minnesota team to death. And the one thing you have to give Luka and Kyrie credit for is that they are being patient on the screens. They are in no rush. They are allowing Gafford and Lively and PJ Washington, they're allowing them to come set screens. They're allowing the bigs to get set up. And then they're utilizing the screen correctly. They'll go wide when they need to. They'll turn and get downhill when they need to. And they're not afraid to drive right towards Gobert. Because the harder that they drive at Rudy Gobert means more pressure on Rudy Gobert to make a decision. And all they're doing is pulling Rudy Gobert away from the rim, barbecuing this team on the backside when they make mistakes elsewhere. That's all it is. We look to the numbers. Jaden McDaniel, man, solid game offensively. 15, 6 of 8 from the field. Rudy Gobert, 9 points. 9 points on the night. The one thing where with Rudy Gobert is, I know that they're pulling him away from the rim a ton. But man, 6 rebounds is tough to accept. 6 rebounds is just tough to accept in 29 minutes from Rudy Gobert. You got to hold him accountable there, man. 14 points for Karl-Anthony Towns, 0 of 8 from the three-point line, 5 of 18 on the night, 11 rebounds. I just feel like Karl-Anthony Towns is just shooting far too many threes. He's allowing makes and misses to dictate how hard he plays defensively. Mike Conley, 16 points, 6 of 11. He was the only guy on this team that could really make threes tonight. 4-7 from the three. Kept him in it with some big shots late. Just wasn't enough. 26 from Anthony Edwards. 11 of 24 from the field. Didn't really shoot it that well. 0 of 2 from the three-point line. He did have 9 rebounds and 9 assists. Just wasn't enough on the night. Kyle Anderson, 10 points. But bad defense coming off the bench. Naz Reid, 14 points. 1 of 5 from the three. When you looked at this game, they shot 30% from the three as a team. 9 of 30. 9 of 30 from the three. That's just not going to cut it. Conversely, you got to look at a team like Dallas. Dallas only shot 28 threes. Dallas only shot 28 threes on the night. They did not shoot no 30 and they actually shot 50% from the three, so they did a much better job. When we go to Dallas on the night, P.J. Washington been solid all playoffs. 16 points. Derrick Jones Jr., 11 points. Kyrie and Luka both 33. Gafford, 29 minutes, 5 points, 4 rebounds. 5 points and 3 rebounds. Not a ton not a ton off the bench, but I think a lot of the help that they had coming off the bench was mostly defensive. When you look at Jaden Hardy, when you look at Josh Green, who played 25 minutes, he played the most coming off the bench. He only had 3 points, but I think it was his defense on the perimeter that really helped in those 25 minutes. So Dallas, man, they're going to be. It just looks like they're going to ride the coattails of Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic to see if they can collect them another chip. And that's what it looks like. And they're empowering the guys around them. Derek Lively, we're going to have to check on his health. He only played 9 minutes. So we're going to have to gauge. I'm going to be looking to see how he does or what his health is going to look like. I would presume that they're going to play it slow with Derek Lively. It seems like they got this series pretty much wrapped up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Derek Lively sit out the next game versus the Timberwolves. You should not be in no rush to bring any of these guys back that could potentially be dealing with injuries. Tim Hardaway is a DNP. Morris is a DNP. So, hey, salute to DJ23 in the chat, man. Appreciate you pulling up, man. I ain't seen you here in a minute. DJ, you still making content over there? I haven't seen you on Gold Mike channel. I've seen you on Nobody channel. Leroy says Lively will sit out. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. You're up 3-0. Even if you lose a game, you're still in the driver's seat of this series. Lively's going to be too important for them versus the Celtics. I would play it safe with him and sit him. Hope to finish it tonight. Yeah, it's going to be tough, though. It's going to be tough. Minnesota, if there's any team that can come back from a hole, it's the team that plays defense. The one thing we know about Minnesota is that they can be the best defensive team. They're not playing like the best defensive team right now, but they can be the best defensive team if they get their heads on straight and they stop getting caught up. They're getting caught up. I think they're allowing these tough shots that Luka and Kyrie to make them. They're allowing it to make them waver. It's like getting hit in boxing. T. Killer says the series is over. Let him sit. Yeah, I would be surprised if he plays in Game 4. To be honest, I think they can win it without him. I just think Dallas has to be careful. You don't want to lose this next game and then go back to Minnesota and trying to close out the series. Because that could potentially happen. So you don't want to lose I think they have to sweep them, because if they don't sweep them, it could potentially go 7. That's the scary part about this Minnesota team. Now, I'm not saying that will happen, but I just wouldn't want to go back to Minnesota trying to close out this series. I mean, the odds of you winning another game in Minnesota, extremely low. You know, so he says J Kidd is doing a tremendous job. Yes, J Kidd is doing a hell of a job, man. You just got to give him kudos, man. Job is not finished, though. I'm telling you right now, they have to try to sweep this team. I mean, they're going to have to try to sell out to get this over with tomorrow. I just would not want to go to Minnesota and then you have to come back to Dallas. Now you're winning it. Now you're in it, because if you allow the series to get 3-2, what Minnesota has shown you is when you give them confidence, they gonna take it. Like when you give them any leeway, if you let them see any type of daylight, they gonna come get that. Jason says, what do you think of the way they guard an Ant? I think they guard an Ant perfectly. You got to crowd his airspace. I think one thing is you got to do is you got to try to limit his touches and how many shots he can even get up. This past game, and Ant let everybody know coming into the game, I'm gonna get shots up. He got 24 shots up. He got more. I think only 3 guys in the starting lineup took double digit shots. Ant-Man took 24. He was just 11 of 24. So they're just doing a really good job of making him take tough shots. They crowd in his airspace. Whoever drew that scouting report on him really has him playing to his weaknesses, right? And they're leaving him open on the 3-point line. Some games he hits him, but do you really believe that Anthony Edwards is going to destroy you from the 3-point line if you leave him open out there all night? I mean, what they're not doing that Denver did was Denver allowed the pace of play to get out of control. That favors Minnesota because they got a whole bunch of young guns that like to get up and down the court. Dallas ain't letting the pace of play get frenetic. They're coming down. They're being methodical with that pick and roll. They're getting to the middle of the floor, and they're barbecuing in the ISO. Shooting all them threes. Yeah, salute to Darius Bill in the chat. Salute to Bidley in the chat. He says Towns simply has to be better. Well, Towns has to be better, and Anthony Edwards has to be better. But, I mean, sometimes you just got to shake Dallas's hand. I mean, Karl-Anthony Towns has a tough matchup. I mean, he got guys like Darius Jones Jr., P.J. Washington, Gafford. They're all over him. They're making life miserable for him. Also, you now have the conundrum of, okay, do we play Rudy Gobert? I mean, if you want Karl-Anthony Towns, so essentially, if you want to see the best Karl-Anthony Towns, then just start Naz Reid. But Karl-Anthony Towns really thrives when they're spacing. But with Rudy Gobert in the game, they're not going to have significant spacing. So the paint is always going to be clogged with Rudy Gobert in the game. The paint is always going to be congested. So that's why the layups that you did see Karl-Anthony Towns make, tough layups at the rim over multiple defenders because of Rudy Gobert. So now you, as a coach, you have to say, do we trade off Rudy Gobert's defense for better spacing so Karl-Anthony Towns can thrive? Or do we leave Rudy Gobert in and we try to fix the spacing in other ways? I would try the Naz Reid route. We saw how this team looked when Rudy Gobert was out for a game. I guess he was at the birth, his child was being born, so he missed a game. But they didn't look like they missed a beat. That was actually the best game they played this entire playoffs, was the game when Rudy Gobert wasn't there. Naz Reid went off, Karl-Anthony Towns went off, Anthony Edwards went off because your spacing was elite. When you got Jaden McDaniel and Rudy Gobert on the floor, right? Now, luckily for Jaden McDaniel, he was 3 or 4 from the 3-point line. But with Rudy Gobert on the floor, gonna be tough. FYS Sports Space, do you think they keeping Rudy in due to FO? What is that? He says it's clear he's not been a good matchup defensively with the Mavs team. I don't know what you mean. Also says, do you think they can keep Rudy in due to front office politics? I'm assuming that's what you mean. He says Yogurt thought they was gonna get cooked without him. Nah, Renegade. If I'm being honest, they look because Naz Reid, he's not as good of a defender as Rudy Gobert, but he's good enough to get the job done. And that's really all they needed against Denver. So that's the problem with Rudy Gobert. So I'm going to be really looking to Rudy Gobert's minutes. When you got a guy like Naz Reid only played 29 minutes. But I think that combination of Naz Reid, Karl-Anthony Towns, that needs to be the go-to lineup. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I mean, you're just going to have to bite the bullet. You're going to have to see what this team looks like. When you put Jaden McDaniels on the bench, you're going to have to let Nickeil Alexander-Walker get loose. You're going to have to get Naz Reid in there because this offense looks too stagnated. Bidley says, I agree. Ant must be better as well, but I thought Towns would be more disciplined defensively. Yeah, he's not being defensive. He's not being disciplined. Yeah, he's getting barbecued bad. Karl-Anthony Towns is getting cooked in this series. He's just getting cooked. And it is not by anything special. He's just doing dumb stuff out there. I just think Naz Reid, if you start Naz Reid, and I know Rudy Gobert wouldn't be the happiest coming off the bench, but if you start Naz Reid, I think you're looking at a different team. But Naz Reid should be getting the lion's share of the minutes if you want to have success against this Dallas team. Just play the matchups. The coach understands the matchups. Like they have it's the reason why you got Naz Reid, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert. Just play the winning lineup. You have the formula. You have the players. Just play the winning formula. And you've seen it work already. So you know it works. So it's not like they would be playing a guessing game if they put Naz Reid, if they started him or played him significant minutes. You just literally watched this formula work to the tune where you beat the living daylights out of the Denver Nuggets. I'm talking about beat the life out of them. We'll see, though. It's going to be a good one, though, man. It's going to be a good one. Appreciate everybody pulling up, man, in the stream today. How many we got in here? Salute to everybody watching from the website. I see you guys in there. All right. Appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you guys, man, support. Hit that pinned link. Support the channel. Hit that cash up to support FYF Sports, man. Appreciate you guys sticking around for the film study. My apologies for the Pacers film, man. It looked like we got Knicks trying to do the Pacers film. So, again, I'm gonna try to pre-record it, and I'm gonna try to get it up tomorrow. It says Cat Town got benched in the game. In game 2, Rudy never. I don't know. You got to retype that one. Small ball, they only hope. I agree, King Kai. Small ball is they only hope. You're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit of that defense to get some more firepower out there. Sometimes it just looks like they don't have the firepower. He had the Mavs in 5. Yeah. I just would be leery. If I'm Dallas, you really got to try to sweep this team. One of the reasons you got to try to sweep them is Boston's at home just getting rest. Like Boston's you're just giving Kristaps Porzingis more time to get healed up. You lose this next game, you're looking at a potential 6-game series. 7 maybe. That's just because I don't see them losing another game in Minnesota. So they're gonna have to try to get this one over with. Boston's at home just healing up. Just healing up, gearing up for them, watching film. So we'll have to see, man. And I know a few of you guys text me. People like H from the UK. I'm going to be getting back with you guys tonight. So I know a couple people reached out to me. Elimination game, Kai time. We'll have to see. Wally says, yeah, that test is crucial. King Kai, yeah, Boston fan. You want Mavs to play the Wolves. Yeah, you ain't lying. Yeah, if you're a Boston fan, I know they want this. They cheering for Minnesota hard right now because they resting. And if they get Kristaps Porzingis back, I just don't see. It's going to be tough for me to not pick the Boston Celtics to win this series if they get a healthy Kristaps Porzingis back. I just don't see it. Says I think the Celtics perimeter defense should be a bit better because of the strength difference. Jaden can deal with Luka weight-wise. I don't think you said who can deal with Luka weight-wise? Who? There's nobody in this league that can really deal with Luka. You said Ant-Man fell off. I wouldn't count Anthony Edwards out yet, man. Yeah, because, you know, what I'm looking for, y'all, is everybody's killing Anthony Edwards right now. Watch how many people hop back on the Anthony Edwards hype train if he wins 1 or 2 games and they have to come back to Dallas and Dallas really needs to win a game. See, Wally, the thing with me is, and I said this same thing about Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic last year. I said, I'm not going to overhype these guys when they have some success. I'm going to try to judge them on a fair scale. Anthony Edwards had a little bit of success. You got people running around comparing him to being the next Jordan. So what they doing is they setting the barometer so high for Anthony Edwards that if he has one setback, it's going to look like an enormous setback because the way he fell off, it don't look Jordan-esque. The way he's been struggling don't look Jordan-esque. And so now people run and bloviate and start saying, oh, he choking. When he was never Jordan in the first place. He's just always been Anthony Edwards. Just like Jamal Murray. You know, people were saying, oh, this is the best duo in the NBA. I did a debate with Ticket TV last year over on Players' Choice. They were saying, yeah, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, the best duo in the NBA. I said, no, y'all saying that because they won the championship. I said, but Jamal Murray has never made an all-star game. He's not been on anybody's all-NBA team. He is not that guy. There's a reason why he hasn't been any of these. He doesn't have any of those individual accolades, and it's not just because of injuries. And then when Jamal Murray, albeit hampered by somewhat of an injury, lays an egg in the playoffs, now everybody talking about he choked. No, Jamal Murray just being Jamal Murray. He was never one of those guys. They were doing the same thing to Jimmy Butler. And then when Jimmy Butler comes back down to earth, oh, he a choker. No. Why don't y'all just judge them just based just who they are? Don't get too high, don't get too low. And then I think they undersell the players that should be raked higher, like a Jason Tatum. Even Jaylen Brown sometimes. Najee says, salute to Najee. He says, I wouldn't say he's choking. I'm saying that matchup. Yeah, that matchup. Yeah, but they're going to have to figure it out, Wally. If any team in the league can figure it out, it's Minnesota because they have the youth and they have the defense and they have the depth. If there's anybody that can figure it out, I got to trust that Minnesota can figure it out. I don't believe that they can come back from a 3-0 deficit. Nobody's come back from a 3-0 deficit, but you have to try. You can't just shell up and decide that you about to purchase your vacation in Cancun. You got to try. He says, will Murray be an all-star if he was in the East? Probably. But I don't even really look at all-star. I just look at all NBA teams. He's not an all-star. He hasn't been on an all NBA team. He hasn't been nothing. I don't know what he would look like in the East. Ishmael says the 90s starving from so much lack of talent that they can only compare to Jordan. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They compare everything to Jordan. To be the GOAT, you have to do it just like Jordan did. To be the GOAT, you have to make a fadeaway with your tongue out, just like Jordan did. Hey, Jordan fans, look, I'll just let the Jordan fans know. We will never see another Michael Jordan. But we will never see another Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We will never see another LeBron. We will never see another Steph Curry. There's a ton of players we won't see the duplicates of. Like when LeBron retires, are we going to sit here and compare everybody and hold them to a standard of what LeBron James did in his career? No. Not fair. Salute the premium water in the chat. He says Wolves are done. Wolves are done. Wolves are done. But the thing is, the Wolves can't believe that they're done. The Wolves have to believe that they can win 4 games in a row. And it's not about the Wolves being done. I know that Dallas is probably going to win this series. I'm saying that Dallas can't allow this series to get extended, just giving the Boston Celtics more rest. Because you got guys like Al Horford and Jrue Holiday. They're older players. They're not young anymore. This rest is just prime time for these guys. We got Ishmael. Ishmael saying, ain't no one saying a player will be the next Chris Mullin or Clyde Drexler. Exactly. Well, one, because they don't even know who Chris Mullin was. They don't even know who Drexler was. 90s fans don't even understand their own players. He says it's about pride for the Wolves at this point. Hey, T Killer, you know that's funny, T Killer? So I have a story. So last year, my team, I think we finished with a record of 30-5. We finished with a record of 30-5. But to prepare the team, early on in the season, I scheduled a couple teams that I knew were kind of outclassed us. You know how, like when you're a D2 team at the start of the year, you might schedule a D1 team. You know the D1 team's going to beat you by 30, but it's just one of them kind of games to kind of wake your team up, gauge where you're at, see if them guys will go out there and compete. And we scheduled a team. We scheduled the number 2 D2 team in the country. And, boy, they came right out, man. They came right out and hit us in the mouth. I ain't going to lie. First 2 plays of the game, one of their guys then flew in and dunked all over us. Next thing you know, we down 40 at halftime, just getting barbecued. And I couldn't tell my team anything at halftime other than this is all pride for the rest of the game. This is your pride now. We gotta play to make it look good. And they came out that second half and played great. It just wasn't, once you get down that much, it's just but sometimes you just gotta go play with pride. Sometimes it ain't about X's and O's. It's just about how bad you want it. And I think for the Minnesota team, do you want this series to be, you want to have that notation in this series that you got swept and barbecued? Or you want us to be able to notate back to this series that you got down 3-0, you fought back, you won 2 games, you won a close game 6, or you pushed it to game 7. Maybe we can tell that story. But if you just lay down and get swept, it's not going to be a good look. Wally says, I can name several players in the 90s that could easily play in this soft era of basketball. I don't think I know any. I mean, some of the dynamic players, yeah. Rod Strickland, Tim Hardaway, I think could play. Muhammad Abdul-Rauf. Couple players. I know a couple guys that can play. You got to be dynamic. You got to be a face-up guard. Penny Hardaway. Big guard. Ball handle. Could shoot, but could do a lot of things. I mean, I can name players. So, Wally, I'm not acting like nobody from the 90s could come to this era. But it's a certain skill set you got to have to play in this era. He said those are guards. You talking about bigs? I think Charles Barkley could play in this era. I think players like Detlef Schrempf could play in this era. I think Sam Perkins could play in this era. Top of the key 3. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like none of them could play in this era. Funny enough, I think Manute Bol could play in this era. Underrated 3-point shooter. I don't think Patrick Ewing could play in this era. I think Hakeem Olajuwon would struggle. I think Hakeem Olajuwon would be good. I think he would struggle. So what do you think the T-Wolves front office should do in the offseason? Nothing. Stay pat. Run it back. I mean, if you lose, you just shake their hand and say, we still had a good team, because outside of the draft, what are you going to change? Who do you trade off this team? I mean, you can make some marginal improvements. Maybe you can upgrade Kyle Anderson's position. Maybe you can get some point guard depth outside of Mike Conley. You really don't have any point guards on this team. So I think the Tyus Jones from Washington is a free agent. I mean, there's some players out there you can get to improve this roster, but I'm only looking at very marginal moves. I'm not looking at anything significant. He said the 90s era had an NAIA player in the top 10. I know, which is wild. I mean, you talking about guys like Dennis Rodman turned into a Hall of Famer. Dennis Rodman barely made a college team. Yeah, I agree. They need another point guard. The point guard market, though, the point guard market is going to be pretty thin, because I think the best point guard free agent might be Tyus Jones from Washington. And everybody's going to be trying to get him as a starter or a backup. I mean, if you look at their team, maybe you can pawn off one of your bench players. You know, somebody that's expendable. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, maybe he's kind of expendable. Kyle Anderson, somewhat expendable. He said Scottie Pippen was NAIA. Yeah. Scottie Pippen was a walk-on. Scottie Pippen wasn't just NAIA. He was a walk-on at the NAIA. Wally, man, we not killing your era, Wally. We know that they was great players, man. We know Rodman was a hooper. Rodman was actually a legit scorer in college. Rodman could give you 30 in college. A lot of people don't know that. He was a bucket. Embiid trash? No, he's not. Embiid would barbecue all those guys you talking about. Hakeem, Ewing, David Robinson, he cook them all. Salute to Ron for subscribing to FYF Sports, man. Appreciate you, Ron. Marvin Strong, I see you in the chat, man. Dennis Rodman is better than Draymond, who will be a Hall of Famer. Dennis Rodman is better than, but Marvin, why are you comparing Draymond Green to Dennis Rodman? They're two completely different types of players. Draymond Green's an offensive facilitator, team defender. Rodman was a great man-to-man on-ball defender and rebounder. Two different styles of play, two different games. Why do you compare those two? That's why I hate it when people compare Rodman and Draymond Green. They're not the same. Offensively, Draymond Green, far more valuable. Defensively, maybe Rodman's probably slightly better there. In a different era, though. He had to defend differently. But I would give Rodman the edge. Two different types of players. I don't know. Was it true that that the Golden State Warriors signed Klay Thompson? He says, when's the last time you went to Runs Lamont? A day ago? What you mean? That's daily, man. That don't stop, Jason. That don't never stop. Look, you see it, man. Look, I keep it on me. Look, Jason, you see it. I actually never even played with this ball yet, Jason. This ball is unscathed, untouched. Well, actually, it got this. This is the game ball. I'm gonna tell y'all. This is the game ball from when Arizona and Alabama played here and there, out here, in the Hall of Fame Classic. This is the game ball. But so I haven't this ball right here hasn't touched. I haven't put it on the court yet. I'm trying to keep it. So this is the Hall of Fame Classic ball. I don't know if y'all can see that. But yeah, they switched. The Hall of Fame Classic used these Spalding balls. I could never hoop with it because it feels like an outdoor basketball, but this is the game balls, man. This is what they're using now. The TF1000s. This is much different than the TF1000s that, we used to hoop back in the 2000s. Because remember the TF1000s, the Spalding balls used to have like a dark color to them. I'm talking about if you was a shooter and you had one of the old TF1000s, you ain't missing nothing. Because it had the grip. It had the way you could grip it. And it had the gold threads. You knock down everything. But these new TF1000s is a little different, man. They try to make it look like the Wilsons. But it ain't no Wilson. Jason says, I'm going to cook you, man, one day. I'm back in the gym. Hey, man, let's do it, man. Look, this is Jason. I'm getting in the lab this summer, man. I'm in the lab. I'm telling you right now. I've been in the lab, man. Every time I dedicate a summer to getting back in the lab, it don't take long for me to get nasty again. And be flopping and traveling. But yeah, Jason, man, we got to get some runs in. Anybody in Arizona, man. Well, not just Arizona, because I'm not driving anywhere. But if you're close to Grand Canyon University, man, let's pull up, man. Told you, I can get you. We can come up to our practice facility where we practice at Grand Canyon. Come on, man. Let's get some runs in. If you in AZ. Salute to Fernandez. I don't want to mispronounce your first name. He says, hey, Lamont, I'm new. Great show. Appreciate you for subbing up to the show. He says, I don't know what you're talking about, NAIA. I'm talking about basketball. No, Wally, but yeah, hey, y'all, to be fair, NAIA basketball back in the 80s and 90s is much different from NAIA basketball now. And so back in the 80s and 90s, because you didn't have computers that you can go see every player in the countries, because it was harder to recruit, a lot more kids got looked over. So guys like Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman could end up going to small schools, right? And not recruited as heavy, especially if you wasn't in some major market where you can get on the AAU scene real tough. So that happened a ton back in the day. And so if you didn't make the local D1 team within the first couple states around you, well, then you probably have to settle for a D2 team because recruiting was different back then. It was only demographic-based recruit. It was rare that you had a guy from New York go to school in California. Fernandez. Okay, my bad. Is it Fernandez? Not Fernandez. Fernandez. No, Wally. NAIA is just a level of basketball. So you got NAIA, you got JUCO. So NAIA is just a level of basketball. They didn't look at it back. I'm helping you out, Wally. So basketball is a little different. So the fact that Scottie Pippen went to Central Rock, Little Arkansas, nah, it don't matter. It's just recruiting was different back then. I don't know if that's true, Ishmael. I'm just saying recruiting now is easier. Like, if you have a D1 school in Oregon, in the 80s, all you had was California, Washington, and Oregon to really recruit through. But if you were D1 school in Oregon now, because of the internet, you're able to recruit players from Florida, Texas, Indiana, New York with no problem. That's what synergy is. Like things like synergy, huddle, that those things didn't exist. Like huddle allows you literally to recruit anybody. You know, synergy allows you to recruit anybody. And then with these prep schools nowadays, these prep schools are traveling all over the summer. Like back in the 80s and 90s, traveling across the country for AAU basketball was not a thing. Like you used to, your AAU battles was inner city AAU battles. Like inner city AAU battles. Or Indianapolis versus Fort Wayne, or Indianapolis versus Gary, or things like that, interstate battles. But now you got these AAU teams. These teams will fly to New York just to go hoop. Going to Vegas, you know, EYBL and whatnot. Different, man. Marvin Strong says, no, it didn't stop being competitive by the end. You just must. Nah, I think he's talking to, what's his name? Oh, it's John. It's a Brazilian name. Damn. Okay, I didn't know that. I'm glad you told me that. Now I just learned something there. No, Reggie would struggle to play now. Reggie would struggle in today's game. Reggie will become much easier to defend. That is true. He said, anyone from Gary? Premium. Don't tell me you from Gary, Premium. You still had Division II and Division III. I tried to run the track at Division II. I didn't get cleared by the NCAA clearinghouse. What does that mean? And how you didn't get cleared by the clearinghouse? These shoe circuits only been around since 2010, like EYBL, Adidas. Thank you, man. That's what I'm saying. That's what changed the game. Jason, no, like Jason. Anybody that if you hooped in the late 90s, early 2000s, even mid 90s, AAU was different. AAU was more local based, and recruiting was local based. Best player in Indiana was always going to IU or Purdue. Best player in New York, always going to Syracuse, St. John's, Georgetown, somewhere out there, Villanova. Best players in Texas, in that southern area, Texas A&M. They stayed in their demographic. You ran JUCO track instead. Salute, Ishmael. Ishmael, that's still an accomplishment. Y'all, you know how hard it is to make a college team at anything? Okay, I don't knock JUCO. I don't knock D2, D3, NAIA. I don't knock none of it. I'm telling you, because it's only a handful of spots at the collegiate level on all levels. You make a team, man, that's an achievement. That's right. That happens sometimes, Ishmael. It's just Lamont, quick question. Do you coach basketball? Because you have a lot of hoops. Yes, I do coach. I coached Grand Canyon University men's club basketball team. Been coaching them. I started off coaching John Fernandez. I started off coaching in 2016. I was coaching at Purdue University. I started off coaching the Purdue University club basketball team. My second year there, we won the national championship. Then I got asked to come out here and coach GCU, men's club basketball. And ever since I've been out here, we've been successful. We've been to 3 national championship games. We have 1 national championship. Yeah, we just won the national championship this past year, actually. Marv knows. He says, yep, the best players here in Detroit or in Michigan, they stayed. And they went to Michigan State, places like that. Look, I'm telling the truth. I'm just telling you how it was. Like, now that recruiting has changed and recruiting is now national, that's what's really thinned the talent out for NAIA teams. That's what's really thinned it out. So now NAIA, where they usually be able to get the NAIA teams in the past could maybe acquire a local 3 or 4 star recruit that maybe got looked over. Now NAIAs are struggling to get 2-star recruits. We beat Air Force in the championship game. Air Force. The Air Force is a college university too, but they were tough. I ain't gonna lie. They point guard might be one of the best players I've ever seen. They point guard was the Gatorade Player of the Year in Nevada. He was nice, and they had a 7. They had they what they tried to do was John Fournette. They tried to kill us with size. I mean, their whole starting lineup was 6'9", 6'9", 6'9", 6'9". You know, but we defend. All my teams, we defend. Right, and we will defend, and I don't care what you put on the court. We're gonna apply pressure to the ball. That's the one thing we do, and that's the one thing we did. We held teams. You know. I mean, actually, if you want to, Joe Fernandez, I can. When this live stream ends, I'm gonna put a live up. I'm gonna replay our championship game because for some reason I thought I had done it, but I haven't. I played the championship game from 2 years ago on this channel that we lost. We lost that game, but we just won this year. Ishmael says, I was just trolling on the NAIA thing. They have some play. Well, they don't. But they used to have players. So right now, right now, you will never hear of an NAIA player. It's rare that an NAIA player would go to the league because talent at the NAIA level is just thinned out. Like D1 ain't missing nobody now. Like it's more D1 teams now. Like, there's more D1 teams than ever. So now you got more D1 teams, more conferences. And so the more D1 teams that get created, it just thins the talent out for D2, D3, and NAIA. Because where else you think they're getting players from? Like, all these low major D1s and these mid-majors, they getting players. They just scooping up the 2s, 3s, and the 4 stars. And then, so now the D2s have to get the leftovers from that. So they getting the next best cream of the crop. Then the 3-3s, and then you got NAIA. So this is why now you have some NAIA teams that just look like complete garbage. Like if I could, I could show you, because we're the level that we play. Because I consider the GCU men's club team, we're like the JV team to the D1 team here at GCU. We play at like a D2 level. At our best, we're like maybe a very, very low D1 level at our best. But if I showed you some of the scores when we played NAIA teams, we barbecue NAIA teams. And we're a team that we don't give scholarships, none of that. We don't have the funding, we just play in our own league. We have our own national tournament. We do all that. But we don't have the resources of a traditional D2 team. We have to kind of really make something out of nothing a lot. I don't know. It's on a year-to-year basis, Ishmael, at least for us. Right now, our point guard, he was on the D1 team here at GCU. He was a walk-on, right? But because of the NIL stuff, So because of NIL, that's made it more difficult for traditional walk-ons because now everybody on the team gets some type of NIL. And so now schools are basically saying, well, if we're going to give NIL, we need to give it to a player that might ultimately actually play down the road somewhere. Traditionally, walk-ons never played. Walk-ons were looked at as just practice guys. So even the structure of D1 lineups is changing because of NIL. Now everybody on the team has to be extremely valuable on the court in some way, shape, or form. He says, that's why I say I can play. Lishman says, that's why I say I can play NAIA. I was not good at basketball in high school. Well, I mean, if you weren't good at basketball in high school, I don't know if you can make an NAIA team. Like, I'm not gonna act like NAIA teams can't hoop. Like you gotta at least have some leg work in at the high school level if you want to play NAIA. I mean, especially if you want to be on the NAIA team and then actually get some meaningful minutes. Scotty could play in this era. I just don't think he'd be as valuable. Rodman would struggle in this era. Shaq would do really good in this era on the right team. I don't think Gary Payton would do good in this era. He's a small guard that can't shoot. Sean Kemp would do good in this era. He's a high skill, athletic wing that had the propensity to shoot. David Robinson would be solid. He could shoot. Tim Duncan already showed he could be elite. So I mean, these are all things. It's just like we never will know. Like we can have these conversations all day, but that's why. Remember, I used to tell people just go run it back on 2K, because there ain't really no other way we gonna be able to tell. I mean, because it's like circular conversations. You have your logic why you think they can be good. I have my logic why I don't think they will be. And most times you're not going to agree to my thoughts and I'm not going to agree to yours. So it's like a circular conversation. Look, let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on. I don't even know if I could pull it up. But I mean, I get what you're saying, Wally, though. Like, I think all these guys, especially guys from the 90s on up, can maybe have some type of role in today's game. How vital of a role? I don't know. It's hard to say. Hold on, y'all. Let me pull up my schedule. I'm gonna show y'all how these. I'm gonna show y'all the difference between playing a NAIA school and a D2 school. Okay, here I got it right here. Let me see if I can share my screen. Hopefully, it lets me share it. If it lets me share it, that'd be good. All right, y'all see it right here. Let me make it bigger for y'all. All right, y'all see this right here, okay? All right. So here's this was our schedule, 30-5, all right? And I'm gonna show you who we played. All right, so we played Golden West College. We beat them. I believe that they're NAIA. We play AZ Seoul. That's just a prep school. Ascending Life. They were a really good prep school. This Ascending Life team actually had us down 17 points in like the first 7 minutes. We ran it back though. We was up by 10 at half though. We were supposed to play Pima. This is the D2 school I was telling you guys about. This first game against them got canceled for some reason. PHH is a prep school. If you in Arizona or if you from the West Coast, you should know PHH prep. A lot of NBA talent came out of this program. But we barbecued them this year. I don't know if some of you guys know a guy named Simon Willer. He played with Imani Bates. He was Imani Bates point guard. He played with that team. Sadco American Indian College. That's an NAIA school. See, this is an NAIA school. 94-41, barbecue time. Park University, NAIA school. Barbecue. We play AZ Soul again, barbecue. So we play Justice College. This is another NAIA school, barbecue chicken. Yes, Wally. So this was our first loss of the year. Now I'm gonna tell you guys about this game right here. I wish I could pull it up. I mean, I'm on my OBS studio and I can't pull it up right now. Check this out, y'all. So South Mountain is a JUCO team. So South Mountain is a level higher than NAIA, right? They're a level higher. They actually have a guy. Their best player just transferred to Ole Miss. He was nice. He was like a baby Charles Barkley. But the funniest thing about this game right here versus South Mountain is my boss coaches South Mountain. So my director at Grand Canyon coaches South Mountain. That's why we were able to get this game scheduled. So this was like a big deal. This game right here was like a big deal in our office over at GCU. And so we came out guns blazing. Remember, this is a road game for us. We came out guns blazing. We were up 7 at halftime. I'm going to tell you guys the halftime score. We were up. I think we were up 35-28. Defense on claps. Now, check this out. No, Ishmael, I'm talking about this game right here versus South Mountain. This is what I'm talking about right here. In the second half of this game, because what you have to realize, Ishmael, is this. Do I recruit internationally? Yes. Our backup point guard is from Israel. He played professionally in Israel. And then our best player from last year just signed overseas. He's playing in Wales, England right now. When he gets back, I'm going to have him on the channel. But we played South Mountain. This was the first game that I ever coached against South Mountain right here, where I felt like it was something going on that I couldn't control. Because in the second half of this game, remember, mind you, we were up by 7 at halftime. In the second half of this game, South Mountain shot 42 free throws. Not 10, not 20, not 30. They shot 42 free throws in the second half of this game. They went into halftime with 28 points. They end the game with 91 points. 3 of our starters fouled out. 2 of our bench players fouled out. And then this game right here against Pima. Well, this was that team I was telling you guys about. This is the number 2 team in the country. Number 2 JUCO team in the country. Their best player, dude named Dylan Baker. And then their center transferred to North Carolina. And their guard, Dylan Baker, transferred to Northern Arizona. But they barbecued us. They had the nastiest press I've ever seen. They barbecued us. But then we barbecued everybody else. Like, we didn't play. We went to Cali. We cooked in the post-grad nationals. We look, another college right here, Justice College, barbecue time. Arizona Christian University. This is a D2 school right here. Win. Right, Cal Poly Pomona. That's a JUCO or D2 school. I'm sorry. No, a virtuoso, 42 free throws. I wish I could show you guys the box score. They made 37 of 42 free throws. They didn't shoot any free throws in the first half. We had to have been the hackingest team I've ever seen. Our national tournament was crazy. I got all these games. I'm going to play the championship game on the channel tomorrow. So when we went to our national tournament, y'all, is literally just like the NCAA tournament. Right? So we went into the national tournament 23-5. We have to go through 7 rounds. We have to go through the gauntlet to get to the championship game. So we beat Loyola. We beat the University of Wisconsin lacrosse. We smacked them, but they was actually nice though. West Virginia, we played them. Now this was West Virginia's club team, not West Virginia's D1 team. West Virginia's D1 team would have barbecued us. This school right here, now this was this school's actual team. This was a school out of Canada. I don't know what them dudes is doing up in Canada, but we barbecued them. I don't even know how they got this far in the tournament. And then we played our crosstown rival, ASU. So mind you, outside of the D2 or JUCO teams, Arizona State's club team was the only club team in the country to beat us. They actually beat us in this little mini tournament back here. They didn't beat us in the championship game of the tournament, but they beat us in pool play right here. They had some dude that just went off and gave us 37. But we came back and beat them in the championship game of the tournament. We took the championship. We took the championship right on their home court. We won the championship. But in the national tournament, we played. Then we had Texas A&M. Texas A&M was nice. They had a big 6'10" guy that was cooking, but we barbecued. And then Air Force Academy, we barbecued them, man. At Premium Water said Canada's a hockey country. Salute to, I think we just had a new sub in here. Salute to Pierce the Weather, man, for subbing up to the channel. I appreciate you, man. He says, you guys got a good team beating Cal Poly. Yeah, no, it wasn't Cal Poly. It was Cal Poly Pomona. But, yeah, we smacked them up. I don't want to say they all blowouts. They not all blowouts. I know, look, Ishmael, but look, Ishmael, you can say all that, but look at the record though, Ishmael. Look at that. Ishmael, I had to schedule some teams to challenge the guys. You just want me to schedule slouches? I had to schedule some teams to challenge them. And look, this ain't no one-time thing. Look, you go to last year. We was nice last year too. Look, last year we ain't taking that many L's. Shoot. And then the year before that, this is when we went to the national championship game. We was nice the year before that. Nah, we can hoop. I ain't gonna lie. We got probably like 7 guys that should probably be low D1. If I'm being honest. Ishmael, it happens, Ishmael. Look. Where's it at? This is another year right here. Ishmael. We got beat by us. So you have to know that Ishmael. Ishmael, you know that I scheduled them again this year. Right? But so, no, Ishmael. So games like this, I actually learn a lot too. So Ishmael. So now I want you to stick around, Ishmael, because we scheduled them again. And Ishmael, I don't want you to let me forget about this. I want you to check our schedule. When I post our schedule for next year, we scheduled them again. Now, if I get beat by them by 50 back-to-back years, then you can criticize me. But Ishmael, if we come back and beat them, because now I know what they do. They nice, but now I know what they do. Because everybody, before I scheduled this game, everybody was telling me don't schedule them. Like, it's a lot of collegiate teams in the area that won't schedule them because they feel like they do shady things to get their talent. But I like playing the juggernauts because now imagine if I take my squad in there and we beat them. Like, see, that's what I tell people. Don't be real nice and then come mess around and let us beat you. That's what you better not do. Y'all playing in California? Yeah, we played in California this year. Look, Jason, we played in Cali. We went to Cali here. Played Golden West. Where else? We went to Cali for Post-Grad Nationals. So we were in Cali here because we play here. I don't know if you heard of the Jordan Lawley Center. We play all of 3 of these games at the Jordan Lawley Center in Cali. So Jordan Lawley Center was nice. It was cool to chop it up with him and meet him. So yeah, we get out to Cali a lot. I'm gonna get out to Cali. I'm definitely gonna be. We definitely gonna be in Cali next year. I just don't know how many times. I'm still trying to map out our schedule. Hey, definitely, Jason, man, definitely. I'm gonna be more in tune with you guys as far as keeping you guys updated with the schedule, because it's been a couple people saying that they want to pull up to the games. So I'm gonna be posting the schedule on the community tab. That way y'all know if y'all in the area, if y'all in Arizona, if y'all in some of these cities, and y'all can pull up. Because I don't know if you've heard of Cal State Miramar. We play Cal State Miramar. We play Stanton University. We play Golden West again next year. So Wally said, "Yeah, look, Wally, look, but Lee, Wally, they got us, Wally. Now, Wally, I bet you they don't do that again. I guarantee you that one, Wally, because I'm telling you right now, Wally, that might be the best press I've ever seen. They ran their press so different, so they knew our point guard was D1 caliber. So I knew they were going to press Wally. So I put my point guard at half court. And I was going to have him flash in the middle of the zone, try to get him with the ball in the middle of the court to completely disintegrate the press. They was so prepared for him. And I've never seen a diamond press ran like this. But they press looked like a full court boxing one. So they literally ran a boxing one on my point guard, who D1, ball handle, D1 skills, could easily play on a D1 team. They ran a boxing one on him. Everybody else got zone pressed. And everybody in the zone press, he had all 6'7" guys. So the 4 guys that was zoned up in the diamond was all 6'7". The one guy that was matched up on my point guard was like 5'11", but this had to be the fastest motherfucking white dude I've ever seen in my life. I'm talking about on him like glue. And I'm like, God damn. But that won't happen again. Don't worry, Wally. We're gonna get them back. I got you, Wally. We're gonna take care of. We're gonna get Pima. We're in Cali, so we play. I don't know, wherever Golden West is. It was like 5 hours from here. I forgot where Golden West was. I know the Jordan Lawley Center was not far. That was like 5 hours. I mean, y'all can look up these places. Jordan Lawley Center. I forgot where it was at. Yeah, Jason. It's Southern Cali somewhere, but it's hard for me to remember the cities because we go so many places. So it is what it is. He says, "Let me help you. Bring all your players up and break break the press up to the sideline." No, Wally, it was different. Wally, it is different when they actually start pressing. Like when they got 4 high major D1 caliber guys pressing you and they got size. We talking 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". It's just different in the moment. Like it's easy to like. We was in the gym like the whole 2 weeks before the game. Yeah, Huntington Beach. The whole 2 weeks before the game, we working on our press break. We actually had 3 different press breaks, but I've never seen a press like that. I've never seen a diamond press where the back man, as opposed to being the back man, is running a playing man-to-man with my point guard no matter where he went. Wally, I wish it was that simple, Wally. Wally, it's just different. When they put somebody that's 6'7" on the inbound, it's hard to just do what you want to do. And they all elite. That's all, man. Like sometimes you just got to shake their hand. Salute to Glock, baby, for subbing up to the channel. I appreciate you. But Wally, don't worry about it, Wally. Look at Wally. I like Wally. See, I like that Wally holding me accountable, y'all. And Wally, you know what? You all right. Look, Wally, I'm going to concede. That was on me. That was poor coaching. I didn't have my team ready to play. That's a fact, Wally. I can't even push back on that. 50 points is unacceptable. We're going to do better. So you're right, Wally. I ain't going to push back on that. That was on me. The fact that at halftime of the game, I didn't have the answers. I ain't going to lie. I didn't have the answers. We got outclassed that game. That won't happen again. So I ain't gonna push back against that logic. Look at Wally saying I need help. No, I don't need no help, Wally. My help is in the film. I'm gonna study film because the main thing, Wally, is there was a team out here, Chandler Gilbert Community College, that beat them twice. I got all the game film, and I got it from 2 different angles. Oh, so best believe, I'm about to be studying that game film because Chandler Gilbert beat them twice. So they played Chandler Gilbert 3 times. They beat them once in the biggest game of the year that mattered most, but then they lost to them in 2 regular season games. I'm all over that film. Now, don't worry, Wally. Don't worry. Oh, no. Yeah, we won the title. So, yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, Wally, we national champions, man. We national champions, man, so. King Kai, is what you think about Caitlin Clark controversy? I think WNBA players are stupid. I think WNBA players, they got a good thing going and they don't know. I think the Indiana Fever don't know how good they got it. I think the WNBA don't know how good they got it. And they're not going to know until it's gone. Like, it shouldn't take Brandon Jennings, who was at the game, to watch Lexi Brown and the Sparks. It shouldn't take Brandon Jennings running over to the tunnel where the Indiana Fever team is, yelling at Caitlin Clark saying, we here to see you. We ain't here to see all these other motherfuckers shoot. We here to see you shoot the ball. Shoot the ball. Brandon Jennings had to run all the way to the Indiana Fever tunnel just to yell at Indiana Fever. He had to get Caitlin Clark's attention. He had to yell at her, we here to see you. Like, she done already forgot who she was. And so, as long as she got them constant reminders of the fans, like Brandon Jennings running over there reminding her, we here to see you, not these other clowns. Not that her, he really did that, dude. He went over to the tunnel. Gil and them was looking around like, where BJ go? He went over to the tunnel. Let me remove this. He went over to the tunnel. He went and yelled, Caitlin, we ain't here to see them. And remember how Caitlin turned up and took that deep 3 to seal the game? Yeah, thank Brandon Jennings for that. Because we ain't here to see no Michelle Claude Stein shoot the basketball. Whoever, I don't know who they is. I don't know any of the Indiana Fever player. But what they need to realize is that, see, the WNBA doesn't realize that we ain't there because y'all can hoop. Because y'all, WNBA players been nice at hooping for the last 30 years. But we are there to see Caitlin Clark. So, yeah, she definitely turned up. So, I think the WNBA needs to remember that that's why the viewership is there. That's why the numbers is up. I think the Indiana Fever need to remember that. I think they need to start building everything around it. If they need to, just like they were saying, if they need to make the rules lax so the Indiana Fever can make a super team, do what you got to do to get a super team in the Indiana Fever. But whatever you got to do. Whoever does the scheduling for the WNBA are complete idiots. Because if I'm doing the scheduling, Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever are playing the 15 worst WNBA teams to start the year. right? Who does the schedule so that she has to play in her first 4 games? She has to play the 2 best defensive teams in the WNBA twice. Who does that? Who does that type of scheduling? What idiot does the scheduling? The 2 best defensive teams? So you're just gonna have her out here looking crazy. Like, did the people in the WNBA not understand that, as we see on the men's side, men are quick to call you a fraud if you have a bad game, and they don't care who you don't show. They don't care who stops you. Like, we don't even know the WNBA enough. Unless you do deep research, you wouldn't even know that those were the 2 best defensive teams in the league unless you did research. Who does the scheduling for the WNBA where you did that? How stupid do you got to be? How is Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark then got matched up early on in the year to capitalize on that matchup? Come on, man. How stupid y'all got to be? He says, you know how to have the women's lingerie football league? They call it X. W needs to be like that. A lot more people support it. I don't think so. I think premium water, I think that would just turn it into a gimmick. And just like the lingerie football league, it got stupid after 1 season. Yeah, like it was cool when it first started. Ooh. But it's kind of like a strip club. Like, you can only go to a strip club so many times before you're like, I don't want to go to the goddamn strip club. Like most normal people can probably count on their hand how many times they go to a strip club in their whole life. It's a gimmick. Like, it's just like, it's cool every now and then, once in a blue moon, but it's just like, who really trying to be here like that? Ishmael says, I will lock Lamont up in upper. Hell no. Bro, I'm telling you right now, like, look. You got to be able, like I'm not even trying to gas it up, but like to clamp me up, you got to be able to play defense. Because one, I still have an elite jump shot, elite. Right, so it's not your normal run of the mill YMCA hooper jump shot. So I still have a strap. 1. 2, I have a quick release. And 2, I'm probably one of the highest IQ players on the court you ever played with. This is why people like playing with me. I don't care if you play defense, Ishmael. That don't matter. Ishmael, it don't matter. I get my homie on the phone. My homie right now, his name is Jayed. He played at the University of Miami. Now, he talks a lot of trash. He's a defensive player, pure athlete, and he struggled to defend me. What you gonna do? Like how you gonna do? If my homie who played at the University of Miami, who was a defensive player, couldn't stop me, what you gonna do with me? And Ishmael, you was just here talking about you didn't even make the high school team. Oh, now I'm capping now. Look, you want me? If it wasn't so late, because he's in Indiana, I would call him. I know he's asleep right now. Like, if y'all catch me during one of these streams during the middle of the day, because if you actually look at my logo, if y'all see my logo to my channel, he's the other guy in the logo. His name's Jayed. He played at the University of Miami. He was supposed to be the other co-host to this show when I started this channel. But right now he just finished grad school. And he's about to go into med school. He's trying to become a doctor. He said, I did make my high school look. All right, man, Ishmael, I'll leave it alone. All right. Ishmael, you got to be nice, man. Ishmael, you got to be nice. You got to know what you're doing out there. I'm going to barbecue you. I promise you. And then don't let us be playing in one of them YMCA gyms where the gym feel little. Like if the NBA, if the 3-point line ain't at the NBA level, I'm barbecuing. If you mess around and put me in one of them YMCA gyms and you still got a high school 3-point line, it's over with. Y'all ain't, cause remember, when y'all play pickup, we playing 1s and 2s. It's unfair. You know why? Because 2s are double the amount of points. It's not like the NBA where you got 2s and 3s, where the 3s ain't double the amount of 2-pointers. If we playing pickup, you got 1s and you got 2s. All I'm doing is barbecuing. Jason said he picking me up 94 feet. But Jason, it's hard to pick me up 94 feet, right? Because I'm a shooter. That's the problem. It's because look, Jason. Here's another thing, Jason. I don't just go play. I don't really like playing in a lot of random runs. If I'm coming to the gym, I'm bringing my 5 with me. And I know some of y'all in the chat, y'all have something against super teams. But when I bring my 5, I'm bringing a super team. So if you want to face guard me all you want, man, see, the thing is, I have no problem with letting the rest of my homies cook. If you want to guard me 94 feet, so be it. You better not leave. You better not leave me. Oh, and don't let me catch fire. Because if I catch fire and I start feeling myself and I'm shooting everything, now you in trouble. It's a long day. Ishmael, I'm not slow. And you can't drive. You're not driving on me. Yeah, I mean, it sounds good in theory, Ishmael. But it just is what it is. Ishmael, it just is what it is. I'm a barbecue, y'all. My players tried to challenge me last year. And I told my players this, right? I said, look, we're going to play King of the Hill one time. I said, don't mess around and let me win. Because if y'all let me win, I'm never playing you again just so I can hold the win on top of your neck. What did these fools do? These fools, and it was my point guard too on game point too. Gamed them for game. I'm not playing you again. I'm 1-0 versus all y'all. Not playing no more. Because they're going to try to get me into a million King of the Hills or one-on-ones. They ultimately going to get me on a couple of them because I'm really not a one-on-one player. Nah. I'm taking this King of the Hill win and I'm going to get up out of there. And we was doing 3 dribbles? No. Oh, I'm not picking you up no 94 feet, man. I'm picking you up at half court. I'm about to guard you 94 feet and pick up, man. Ain't no way. You ain't that nice. Ain't no shot clock. I'm picking you up at half court, man. We clamp up. Like, my point guard, so when we play 5-on-5, my point guard get mad. He get mad at me because, shit, I know he nice. I don't care if we playing pickup or not. But we doubling. All that people getting mad that you doubling. Nah, we doubling. If you nice, you getting double. We going the other way with it. Like, you ain't about to sit there and dance on us all day. We double. So, have at it all you want. Dude, you might have a nice little yo-yo on you. No, you're not about to sit there and dance, man. We doubling. Going the other way. Ask my homie Penny. All my homies is in Indiana right now. If it wasn't so late, I would call them. My homie Penny knows. We doubling. He played at Purdue. All he do is defense. Man, we don't play fair. You ain't about to dance and do all that stuff. No, he's not, Ishmael. Ishmael, ain't nobody about to have me on skates because as soon as he score one layup, if he can even get that off, we doubling. And then after a few minutes, we're gonna be yelling he with us. That's what we're gonna be yelling. After Jason had turned it over about 2-3 times, then every time he touch it, we're gonna be yelling he with us. Then he gonna be in his own head. Yeah, I played against Jeff Teague. Jeff Teague is a bucket. All his brothers is bucket. Jeff Teague, Marquise. It's like 4 of them. It's a whole bunch of them Teagues. I ain't gonna lie. They all hoop. They all play D1. They all hoop. like high D1. So, yeah, he with us. That's what we get yelling with Jason. Go ahead and we love Jason. So my homie from Miami, my homie who played at Miami University, like he spent a whole summer going against the grain, right? This is what I mean, Jason. He felt like, remember, I like to walk in the gym with super teams. But there was one whole summer where he was like, I ain't going to play with y'all. I want to play against the best in the gym. I was like, what you mean you're not playing with us? You want to play against us? All summer, I'm talking about 3-4 days a week. He joining just a whole bunch of randoms trying to beat us. That's what he doing. I can get him on the phone right now. He will tell you right now. We doubled the shit out of his ass. And he still gets mad to this day about it. He says, it's because y'all doubling, because y'all kept doubling me. Yes. And we about to keep doubling. And if, look, I can try to call him. I know he's not going to answer. Watch this. I know it's late in Indiana. Let me see if I can try to call him. He probably dead asleep right now. Watch, he ain't going to answer, y'all. Can y'all hear this? Nigga, you sleep?
Nigga, it's 3 in the morning.
You got to get up for a second. Help me out.
Okay, what's up?
All right, I'm live right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, hold on. Let me make sure they can hear. Hold on. Can y'all hear? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear. Jaya, say something so the people can hear you, man.
1, nigga, 1. All right, 1, guys. What's up?
All right, hold on. I got it on speaker. This is the loudest it can get. Hopefully they can hear you. Now tell these people, right? Now he not pissed, Duke. Tell the people, right? Like I got no qualms about it. You nice. I give you that.
Mm-hmm.
When you went against the grain that summer and you didn't want to hoop with me and Penny, what did we do to your ass all summer?
Oh man. Yes. There was a lot of losses.
No. What was we specifically doing to you to defend you?
Trapping.
See?
Making me give up the ball. A lot of different things.
We the double masters.
Yeah.
See?
It was like a playoff series every weekend.
Well, so.
But I'll tell you something. I wasn't like Devin Booker. And boy, that boy soft. He was talking about.
Now look, Jayed.
Yeah.
Am I stupid enough to just let you go at me one-on-one, or am I going to send help?
Oh no, yeah. You're gonna send help. You're not gonna give me the same look every week, every day. If we play together every day, and you know what I either struggle with, or you're like, his teammates aren't that good. You're gonna like send help, or you're gonna have somebody else guard me, and then you're gonna guard like the wackest player to come over.
Oh, so now you just putting me. Oh, okay.
No, I'm saying you're going up on matchups. So like you're gonna guard somebody who sucks, so you could be the helper if you feel like that person can't help well.
Oh man. See, nah, that's all. I was just wanting to hit you up, man. They thought I was capping, man.
Oh, cause you doubled in a pickup game.
Yeah, I was telling him, I was like, look, if you nice, I have no problem with doubling in a pickup game.
Oh yeah. He doubled. Y'all, he's not lying. I don't know why y'all don't believe him. He really will.
We picking you up, man. All right, John, I'm gonna hit you up, man. We gotta get you back on the show, man.
For sure. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna be having me on here at 4 in the morning.
Nah, we just doing a random stream tonight because of the game, but that's it though.
Oh yeah, bro, don't even talk about that Pacer game. Should be 3-1, but you know, yes, guys, I am a whack ass Pacer fan. Should be 3-1. It should be 3-1.
It should be. They kept choking in the fourth, man.
Yeah, and this Celtics team, oh man, they're about to get really exposed. Jason Tatum's legacy's on the line. Jason Tatum's legacy. Jaylen Brown, not so much because it's Jaylen Brown, but Jason Tatum's legacy's on the line. At least to me. If he don't win this.
Jaya, check this out. One last question, right? I got a dude named Ishmael in the chat, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Ishmael has already given me his basketball resume. He said he barely made his high school team. He said he got cut from an NAIA team. He said he gonna clamp me up. He said he ain't allowing me to get no threes off. Now you've heard his skill level.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I already was about to say it. IQ's not high enough.
His IQ ain't high enough. That's what I told him.
It's more so like, I mean, I think the level of basketball, LeBron's played a lot of basketball to where he's seen different body types. He can get open. He knows where his spots are. He's not going to do nothing outside of like his. He knows his skills, so like he knows what he's really effective at. So he gonna find his way to get a shot off, and he's more than likely gonna make it.
All right, look, man. That's why got to get you down here to Arizona, man.
But Ishmael, if you get in his head though, if you get in his head a little bit, if you can figure out a way to get in that head, you might be able to, you know. But I'm saying you got to have a really high level of defending, and most people don't defend anymore. So that's interesting that you said you're gonna climb him.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it.
But more power to him. I want to see it.
You look, that ain't happening. He laughing in the chat now because the one thing I'm never doing is I'm never walking in the gym with a slouch team. So good luck.
Oh, Ishmael's not. He said he's gonna clap it. So I just think you're gonna have to have, especially in pickup. I mean, I can maybe see you saying league game if we play, I'm clapping it, but pickup?
No, hell no.
You gotta be built a little different. You gotta be solely focused on him.
I don't think nobody that disciplined.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta have a really high level of basketball IQ. Enough to make up for even your teammates who don't have a high level of IQ, because he might just start calling pick and rolls and then switches like Luka.
Boy.
He don't like it.
I keep telling him. I said I'm gonna get my shot off.
Yeah, he gonna get a matchup that he like. He gonna find out somebody who's weak. He gonna burn him.
Oh, like your homie, like your one homie.
Who?
Remember that? Remember one of the last times when I was in Indiana, and he let me hit him with the Euro.
Oh my God! All right, I'm off this phone, y'all, because Lamar memory be good though when it's in his favor.
All right, Jay, I'm gonna catch up with you.
All right, y'all.
All right, man. Oh man, I told y'all, man. What I tell y'all, Ishmael. How did I lie, Ishmael? What you mean, Ishmael? I told you, man. Sorry, I get him. I could call my other homie Penny. I call my homie Eric. Eric played at Cornell and he played at Purdue. I could call my homie Lucas. He played at Indiana State. I can get them all. See, y'all don't want me calling people getting like people. Like y'all think I'm just saying it. I'll get people on the phone right now. Bonafide hoopers. And when I get out there to Cali and I get this film with Gil, don't let me mess around and get a few off on Gil. He ain't never living those down. Oh, yeah, that's coming soon. Don't worry. He said, I never said I barely. Look, man, Ishmael, if you're not that good, that means you barely made the team. You know, it's all love though, Ishmael. I'm just messing with you, man. Look, y'all, we going on 3 hours, man. Salute to y'all, man, in the chat, man, sticking around, man. Appreciate y'all pulling up here to FYF Sports, man. Still 100, 300 people strong in the chat, man. See y'all, some of y'all watching, man. Like I said, hey, you know what? I think these vertical lives is a new wave, man. That's where I'm gonna be at from here on out. Because you got to really think about it. We built up the majority of our following here on FYF Sports through shorts. And so sometimes when I would go live, you know, I had, you know, for the longest time, I had a lot, you know, if y'all look through some of my shorts, one of my shorts got like 25 million views. I got like 25K subs just off one short when I look at my analytics. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, when I go live and it's just regular on the StreamYard, how come them people that hit the sub button from the short, where they at? How come they ain't seeing my live? Like, where all these people be at? And then when YouTube made this new vertical feature, like if you notice now with the vertical lives, if you turn your phone off, the YouTube shut off just like it would do if you were watching a YouTube short. So the YouTube shorts the YouTube verticals tap into your shorts feed. So now all those people that I had access to that subbed up through the shorts feed, I now have access to all those people doing the vertical lives. And like now all of a sudden when I go vertical, because I'm tapping into more people, now my vertical live numbers are going crazy. So I think I'm going to be tapped into these vertical lives a lot more, man. You know, I'm going to have to get used to some of the features on it and stuff like that. But I've been seeing more people. Now that I got the StreamYards activated, I'm seeing more people sub up while we live. Look, and like I said, and then next through the Streamlabs, we're going to start doing our giveaways. On the next stream, we're going to be doing our giveaways. Streamlabs is going to ask you a question. The first person to type it in, Streamlabs is going to award you with some free merch. And I'm going to make sure you watch the community tab because we dropping all new merch, right? We got LeBron James merch. We got Michael Jordan merch, man. Whoever side you on, man, we got merch for you, man. So make sure y'all tap in with it. But look, y'all, FYF Sports, man. Hell of a podcast, man. Hell of a podcast episode, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, John Fernandez, man. Appreciate you, man. I love the new subs, man, and you engaged in the chat, man. So next, in one of these shows, Mark Warner says, bro, if Luka is 6'9", then LeBron is 6'11". Well, it's been said, like Gilbert Arenas even said, LeBron is taller than what he is. Like people that have been on the court with LeBron James have said he's taller than 6'9". Like LeBron James can literally stand next to 7-footers and he's shoulder to shoulder with him. So here's the thing. Like Gilbert actually just talked about it on his show today. He specifically said, a lot of these guys don't like to put their heights bigger because then they get lumped into the category of being big man or centers. And it's harder to market centers. This is why Nikola Jokic is hard to market, or Joel Embiid is hard to market. It's easy to market guards, right? And KD's had to completely revamp his game and just play completely like a guard just to get the MO of a guard. Otherwise, he would have that stigma as well. But I'm telling you, I was courtside. I had the pictures too. It was a game when Dallas played Phoenix in the playoffs. It was the game right before Luka went off. It was the game when Phoenix had just blew Dallas out in Phoenix. After that, Dallas took off. And I'm sitting courtside. And the first thing I said when I saw Luka is I said, that motherfucker is taller than 6'7", 6'8". And he got like good size on him too. Like the TV screen do not do him justice. Like when you see him that close in person, I'm telling you, Bro, I'm telling you, he's big. He's taller than 6'7". Another guy that's taller is Lou Dort. I'm telling you, it was a summer. It was like the summer that Lou Dort got drafted. For some reason, I said, let me go up to ASU. I went up to ASU to just randomly just get some work in. I walk in the gym. I see this big motherfucker on the other end of the court working out. I go chop it up with him. Lou Dort, man, I'm preparing for the draft. He looked like a center. I thought he was the center for ASU. It's crazy now when I look in the league and I see all he guarding is perimeter players. If you meet Lou Dort in person, he looks like an NBA center. And I'm telling you, I saw this with my standing next to him on the same court. I'm telling you, a lot of these heights is finessed. LeBron James' height is for sure finessed. LeBron James is at minimum 6'10". So sometimes y'all just gotta do like me. Like, see, the bad habit. See, the problem is what happens is if you go sit courtside at an NBA game, you can't never go back to regular seats because regular seats will never feel the same. So if any of you guys ever buy courtside tickets and go sit courtside at a game, just be prepared for that to either be your last courtside game or every game that you go to from that point forward has to be courtside. Now, if you in one of them cities like a Memphis or something like that, or even in Indiana, you can get a bargain for the courtside. Like even here in Arizona, if you sit courtside, it's a bargain. Because when you sit courtside, you go down and you eat like a king. You get free food and everything. And it's not that French fry and a hamburger patty that you would go order for $50. It's legit like steak and everything back there. So, no, they not, Corey. I'm telling you, Corey, they not too high. What you have to do is go on something like StubHub. So what you do, Corey, is this. Like, I'm going to give you an example of two teams. Like, say if you here in Arizona, if the Detroit Pistons come into town and you want to get a vibe for what courtside feel like, those are the prime opportunities to get courtside tickets. And so you got to remember that courtside is not just the seats in the very front row. There's usually like the first 5 rows from the floor are all considered courtside because they're all practically on the same level. But you still just as close. So try looking at the courtside level seats that are like courtside row 3 or 4. And if you catch the right team coming in town, you can probably find you some for like $200-300 each. Well, you talking about playoffs, Black. It can't be no playoff game. Playoff ticket prices are always over bloviated. Don't even mess with playoffs. I'm just talking about regular season game. Because I remember one time I did it. I went to Detroit on some random stuff. Or sorry ass Orlando Magic. This was back when they had Aaron Gordon and Vucevic. And Detroit was hot garbage. Detroit, the most boring game I ever seen. But I was able to get courtside level tickets for dirt cheap. When in Indiana Pacers, one of the most boring teams in the league. At the time, I'm a Portland Trailblazer fan. At the time, Portland was nothing special to watch. Nobody cared about them. Ain't a whole bunch of fans. So when Portland came to Indiana, I'm snatching up courtside seats for like, damn. I'm talking about like $270 each, something like that. Now, the most ridiculous ones I paid for was when we flew to Portland, and I got courtside level seats to the Golden State Warrior game when they had Durant. Boy, man, I hit checkout on them tickets. Boy, I felt crazy. Boy, when I hit checkout on them, I'm looking at like, dang, why did I just do that? But it ended up being worth it. It was a hell of a trip. It ended up being worth it because we sat next to some people who had like season tickets. And they was like, yeah, y'all want to come to the game tomorrow? They play the Sixers on a back-to-back tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, how much you want for the tickets? I think they charged me like $150 for both tickets, something ridiculously low. I'm like, shit, let me get that. So we ended up getting like 2-for-1 deal. The NBA is so hard to watch. I got to put a bet in just to be interested. Hey, Corey, I ain't even going to lie. Sometimes during the regular season, it get like that. I ain't going to lie. Even for like avid basketball fans, like I feel like I'm an avid basketball fan. It get like that for everybody, so you ain't the only one. Sometimes the only thing that keep me engaged is a hellified parlay. So, nah, you ain't the only one that get like that, man. It's just because it's starting to get dried up, man. It's starting to get dried up, man. There's no big time narratives. There's no super teams out there that, like, that's why I say some of the best times in basketball was when the Golden State Warriors had Kevin Durant. You said, how was it seeing KD courtside? It was crazy. I got pictures all through my phone and everything. You know, I took a whole bunch of pictures. And then when I sat courtside in Chicago, that's when I was able to meet Damian Lillard. I put most of my pictures on my IG. And that's when I saw, oh yeah, you ain't 6'4", is you? And I know, and the craziest thing about it, and this is how everything goes full circle. I get out here to Arizona. First person I meet out here on the basketball court is Damian Lillard's trainer, Phil Beckner. Craziest part about it is Damian Lillard works out almost every summer at Grand Canyon University in the same gym that we be practicing in, that our same practice facility. Phil Beckner. So it's crazy here, small world, how things come full circle. Corey Deshaun said, this is circus, 30-point comebacks, players quitting. Boy, I just think teams is nice now, man. I think back in the past, I think teams get down 30 points and they would just call it a night. But now sometimes teams get down 30 points, man. With the 3-point line, boy, you mess around and go on a 12-0 run, you right back in the game. So what you have now is you have more and more teams that's just not folding and giving up. They playing the game all the way to the end of the buzzer. Now, some people might call that stat padding. Other people might call it good basketball. But you can't make a hellified comeback without trying to stat pad. You got to go out there and try to put up points. All right, y'all, man. Look, man, I'm about to shut this stream down. It's 1 a.m. for me. How you put up 30 points and forget how to play offense and defense? Look, it be like that sometimes. It be like that, man. I've been a part of some crazy situations in basketball, man. Momentum in basketball, momentum shifts and swings is a real thing. You know, that's why I feel for some of these NBA coaches because, you know, and this is one thing before I shut it down. People got on Darvin Ham a ton because, and my favorite player ever is Brandon Roy. People got on Darvin Ham because they said he didn't know when to call a timeout. The one thing that I've learned now that I'm coaching, is that sometimes when you call a timeout, it hypes the other team up even more. The only reason I know this is because we would be beating the life out of teams. As soon as we forced them to call a timeout, we got even more hyped up. So I'm thinking to myself, is calling timeout always the solution? Do you always have to? So what I do is what I do in practice is whenever we scrimmage up and down in practice, we play in 2, 3, 4, 5 minute bursts. And what happens is we practice well enough to where I give my team and players all the solutions to any problem. So if whatever we doing that day, if my starters lose a 2-3 minute stretch, I don't even go talk to them. I say, y'all huddle up. It's not like you ain't got the resources to fix it. I don't need to draw up 17,000 plays for you to fix some of this stuff. Y'all know what to do defensively. Y'all know it's always no middle. Y'all always know help come from the lows, from the opposite side. You help outside the lane lines. All right? High on the weak side, help the helper. Y'all know everything that we need to do. Whatever problem it is out there, y'all already got the solution to it. So just go fix it. So I get them used to fixing the problems on their own. Because calling timeouts, what am I going to say to them in a timeout that they don't already know? Like the game that I play tomorrow, the championship game, I don't call the timeout to the very end of the game. And this was a tight-knit game. I'm not about to sit here and keep calling timeouts, but we did force Air Force into some timeouts. So here's what it is, man. So I feel like coaches got it hard, man, because I think Cam the Hoopers is facts Lamont as a player. Nobody give a fuck about a timeout. Thank you, man, Cam. Thank you, Cam, for being honest. The players, you know what the players care about is when we make you call a timeout. That's the only time we care about a timeout. That's the only time. I mean, I understand that you might have to call a timeout, like end of the game stuff. You got to stop the clock. But outside of that, man, timeouts are really doing nothing, man. Darvin Ham ain't called no timeouts. What the fuck is Darvin Ham supposed to say in a timeout? When Bron ain't helping weak side, when LeBron ain't covering the weak side, what is he gonna tell LeBron? What is he gonna say in the timeout to get LeBron James to start playing defense off the weak side? Bron, we need you to rotate on the defense on the weak side. What are you gonna tell Bron in the timeout? Like Bron don't already know. Mavs Celtics, look, Black, only because I'm going to be rooting for Kyrie, I want the Dallas Mavericks to win. Kyrie's taken a lot of flack over the years. Luka's taken a lot of slander for not having a championship. Because I keep telling people, and this is the same thing with Jokic and Luka. I said the worst thing that's going to start happening is that Jokic and Luka start winning championships. And if they start stacking championships on top of the accolades that they already have, by the time their careers is over with, your top 10 is going to start to look a little dicey. I said, don't let these dudes start winning championships. Like, don't let Jokic win another couple championships. Jokic win 4 championships or 5 championships or something ridiculous. Win another 2 MVPs. Boy, y'all gonna have to start reanalyzing that top 5. Top 5 gonna be looking a little dicey. Gonna have some tough conversations. But now, Black, I would have to go with the Mavs, even though I know going into the series the Celtics got the superior team. So that just me. I just want to see Kyrie win. That's all it is. You know, I want to see Kyrie, and I want to see him win in Boston. That's what I want to see. And the one thing I hate is as Kyrie succeeds, I'm seeing all these YouTubers try to make it about Stephen A. Smith and what Stephen A. Smith said a few years ago. No, y'all just need to give him his flowers, man. My MVP choice for the year, I believe, was Shy. I think it was Shy. I can't remember. I did a video with all my predictions. I think the only thing that I almost got right was I did pick Wembanyama to win Defensive Player of the Year. I almost got that right. People were calling me crazy. Thanks for subscribing, that boy Jay, man. Appreciate you, that boy Jay. Yes, sir, man. Just saw you subbed up, man. Much appreciated. Deep into the stream, too. As far as like playoff series, I mean, I've gotten the basic ones right. I picked OKC to get out. I picked almost every series with Dallas, correct? But, you know, these picks really don't so picks is odd. Like, it's hard, man. It's hard to pick correctly because if I think the easiest sport to pick wins and losses on is college basketball. But because of the talent in the NBA, that talent can spring forth at any given time. That's the X factor that throws the NBA off more so than any other sports league. That the talent that these guys have can spring up on you and hit you at any time. For example, like Miami Heat last year. Like Jimmy Butler can decide to wake up one series and play Jordan level, and you can't do nothing about it. I mean, Kyrie and Luka. Who would have thought Kyrie and Luka would wake up and start playing defense the way they're defending? Like, who would have thought that? You know, and so it's so many factors that come in. It's just like hard. The NBA is hard to pick. It's hard. Like, people won't admit it, and people try to act like it's easy. It's not easy at all. And I've done a lot of sports betting. I know. Drew Holiday is the greatest perimeter defender of all time. I would still say Scottie Pippen is, but I would put Drew Holiday in that conversation. Some teams don't. You must be a Laker fan, Corey, because the Lakers, sure enough, didn't contest the three-point line all year. Them motherfuckers did not care about defending threes. They would just let. I'm talking about if you wanted to make a name for yourself, chuck up threes versus the Lake. Look, we ain't heard of Dante Exum. Dante Exum step on the court with the Lakers. The man knocked down 7 threes. Draymond Green ain't made a three all year. He played the Lakers. He knocked down 6 threes. You know, I'm talking about if you want to have a standout stellar game, play the Lakers. Yeah, because most people ain't going to acknowledge it because most people staring at the offense. Salute to Sanud, man. Salute to Sanud for subscribing, man. Just saw you subbed up, man. Appreciate it. Make sure y'all hit that Cash App as well. Hey, any of y'all heard of Section 7? Any of y'all heard of an event called Section 7? It's like a recruiting thing. The GCU asked me to go to it. So, something in, I think it's going to be out here in Arizona. Didn't know if some of y'all heard of it. Some of y'all hoopers that's still in college or not too far removed from college might have heard of it. Do I watch football? I do watch football, but I'm a super casual at football. I just watch football for the pure entertainment. I'm mostly just going to watch the playoffs, Super Bowl, stuff like that. I'm not going to really dive into the X's and O's. I'm not going to profess to know all that. So, you know, it is what it is. I really, really want to have a baseball show on this channel. I want some people up here that really know baseball, and I want to do a baseball show. Cam the Hooper. The reason why they don't want to give Luka his credit, because if they say Luka also was playing defense, he a super player. He a baby Thanos. They can't give him defense too. That's why they ain't gonna ever admit to his defense being better. Because if he actually start playing defense, he a baby Thanos. He basically unstoppable with defense. Because remember, the only weakness that he had before is that they said he couldn't defend. Boy, Lively, man. I did not see this out of Lively. There was only one person on YouTube that I ever saw call this Lively drafted. I'm talking about before Lively picked up dribbled a basketball in the NBA. That was, what's his name from Player's Choice? how do I forget his name? Mars from Players Choice. The only person that I heard call Lively out before it happened. I'm talking about to a T almost. I got to give him his props on that one. He called that one to a T. I didn't see that because I just didn't see it at Duke. But I just think now that Coach K has left, this new guy that they got in, he just ain't that guy. I don't think I don't know how many more years he got left. I don't think he's that guy. Their best player just transferred out. I think their best player just went to Baylor. Jeremy Roach. Their best player just transferred out. Hellified transfers. They can't hold on to talent. Man, Duke ain't the same. Oh, Jason said, yeah, it's a tournament where college coaches evaluate high school talent. Yeah. I just got a text from my boss, man. He said that GCU is paying for us to go to Section 7. So I'm going to be at Section 7, man. If any of y'all going to be there, I'm going to be there. Look at Ishmael just do it all. He's track, baseball, basketball. No, Gary Payton would get barbecued by Steph Curry. Tyson Chandler, that's a good one right there. Yeah, Derek Lively, and then them trades, like Cam the Hooper. I was telling people, P.J. Washington is a prime example of how playing on a bad team can make you look like complete trash. Like, what I'm saying from P.J. Washington now, I never saw any of this. And it's primarily because he was just on a shitty team. But, like, the way he's playing now, the way he's playing just this year alone has solidified that he's going to be in the league for 10 to 15 years. He's going to be at minimum a journeyman in this league for the rest of his career. So, yeah, I mean, I love Dallas. They're a fun team to watch. They got good energy. They move the ball. They play for each other. And I'm talking about, man, when it's time to go to work in the ISO, you ain't going to see two. They might have the two of the best ISO players in the league. I'm talking about. They got the slowest ISO player in the league and the fastest ISO player in the league. And they both going to give it to you in two different ways. He said, hey, Jason, do it. I'm telling you, Jason, this is the thing I got to say about coaching. Once you start, you can't stop. It's addicting. I don't know how to explain it, and if you thought you was pissed after you lost a game when you was a player, wait till you lose a game when you coaching. Boy. Telling you. Like, national championship game, I'm just coaching. I ain't doing nothing but coaching. When the game's over, I'm sitting here sweating like I played. Adrenaline rushing. All types of shit going on. So I would say do it, man. Do it. But I think the biggest thing is if you do it, if you do it for money, you're not going to have fun. If you do it for money, especially at the start, you're not going to enjoy it. Because the funniest thing to me is I see even a lot of coaches that have been here at GCU Club, I'm watching them chase job after job, and they're going from here to there and here to there. And I'm just asking myself, how much do you even like coaching? You done bounced around to all these places. First you was here at GCU, didn't have no success. Now you done went to this place. Y'all didn't win nothing. Now you over here, and it's just like, what you really doing? Like I didn't interview what I interviewed. I've applied for a couple coaching jobs that opened up out here in Arizona at like the D2 level. And it's just like, they keep hiring these like one-off coaches, these coaches that might have like a crazier resume than me. Like there was one guy who was an assistant at the University of Arizona, but as soon as they get a winning season, they dip. It's like, why don't y'all just bring somebody in that's going to build up a program that ain't going to dip on you all the time? I'm content. I ain't trying to, look, I'm not going to pass up no NBA jobs or nothing like that, but I'm not going from, for example, if I'm an assistant at, or if I'm a head coach at a JUCO out here, I'm not leaving it to go chase another JUCO job somewhere else because they paying a little bit more money or something. Like it's gonna take a legitimate, like, high-profile job to move me. He says, "This kind of, you definitely can't become a coach for the money. You gotta love it." I know that's true. You got to, and then it takes a minute to get success. It's like I got lucky when we won that championship at Purdue. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I didn't know what the hell I was doing when we won the championship at Purdue. Other than the fact that we had our best player went to the G League the next year. I just had a hellified player on the team. But that was back in 2016. No foundation in coaching right now. The players got all the empowerment. It just depends on what level you coach at. Depends on what level you coach at. If you coach D1, I don't think all the players got the power of D1. I think people blow up this NIL stuff when really, on most college teams, you're looking at maybe one, maybe two players that are getting significant NIL. So the NIL really ain't changing nothing. Guys will transfer out. Guys are going to transfer out because more players are delusional. More players think like, because it's really because of the internet. That's all it is. They get on the internet. They got these coaches hitting them in the DM. Oh, yeah, come over here and play, man. I'm going to play you, man. You going to get all the playing time. As soon as they bring them over there, you're on the bench. So it's just a lot of backstabbing and backbiting. And that's the only thing that's really changed it up. So the funny thing is the coaches do all the complaining about the players moving around, but the coaches is the reason why the players is doing all the moving around. Like all these transfers and stuff like this happening, it's not happening because of the NIL. It's happening because coaches with the internet, because they can talk to players in Snapchat. There's so many ways they can talk to players without anybody knowing. And so all they doing is just getting in these players' head. Look, man, I think we can use you over here, man. You get hellified playing time over here. All these coaches that's crying about it, they the ones really creating it. The coaches are just backstabbing each other everywhere you look. Ain't no NIL doing it. Because to be honest, these players don't really like bouncing around and moving from school to school like that. They like staying in one spot. Oh, Jason, yeah, that is true. That's because a lot of these programs ain't really funded. Like, if it's funded well, like kind of like here at GCU, it's just funded really well. So like for me, I got an assistant. Like we got, like if you look at, like if I put it on the screen here, look, if you look at this right here, we got a whole staff. Like we staffed up. Hold on, let me show you. So we got a whole staff. Like it's not too many teams at our level that got this type of support and backing. He says, "Did you see when Luka gave Hardy to go ahead? Yeah, man, go cook his ass. You supposed to do that. Cook his ass." I wouldn't recommend consistently trying to take, but I guess it's, it is what it is. I get it. It's a fun team to watch, man. But look, I'm about to shut this one down, man. I got to shut it down. Don't want to, but I got to shut it down. We're going on close to 2 a.m. We cooked for almost 4 hours, a lot longer. I was expecting this to only be 2 hours. Cook for 4 hours, man. Everybody in here doing their thing. Everybody showed up to support. 222 still in the chat. Make sure y'all hit the sub if you haven't done so already. Make sure y'all hit that support button. Hit us in the Cash App, $Brook 88B. That's a temporary Cash App. We're gonna be getting another one back soon. Also, that link in the chat to become a member of the channel, man. Hit that link. Become a member of the channel. Join the Discord as well. Do all that good stuff, man. We got a lot of stuff coming for FYF Sports. We got a lot of shows. We got a boxing show coming, hosted by H from the UK. We got the crossover on Saturdays. We got Rumble in the Ring on Sundays. We got Hollywood Herm on Mondays. I mean, we about to have a loaded slate, man. So, and we're gonna be moving, and we about to move the entire platform over to Roku TV soon. Yes, sir. We will be doing some big stuff with Roku TV. That's why I'm really trying to establish these shows. Because when we move to Roku TV, it's going to be a little bit different, man. It's going to be different. So that's in the future. I just don't know how sustainable YouTube is going to be. So I'm just trying to get somewhere where they hungry for real creators, man. But look, FYF Sports, man, another great podcast episode. Y'all, we're going to be back. More sports and news. And until then, man, it's FYF Sports, man.